Everybody grab your drinks now. We're live because we are live. Welcome to the show, everybody. Aaron the Dog here with Aaron the Dog MMA for the UFC breakdown show. The dog, the bunny, and the bear are here, as always, on our new special night with a helicopter going over the top because it's DC. I don't know if anybody could hear that, but new special night. We are going Wednesdays now from basically here on through football season at least, and probably beyond. Just we're not quite through the COVID season of MMA, but it's starting to get to where cards don't completely shift the Thursday of. Hopefully, albeit we have a new fight announced as of Wednesday afternoon, so we'll see. But we were able to at least do a little bit of tape on that change. By the way, the change is that, the change is Dakota Bush is out. It's not a huge fight, but Zurong is now fighting Brandon Jenkins, so we'll get to that. But, yeah, definitely a big deal. We got a ton of people in the comments here, so definitely want to give a shout-out to Kill Switch. He was the first one. Kill Switch owns all. Was the first one, so I'm very disappointed in you, Miz. You were late. You were just on time. Elliot, major news with the announcement of Wednesdays. So, got the Bellator breakdown up on the channel right now. If anybody does need to check that out, please go and check it out. Lewis of Norden MMA will be joining me for those, as well as the Cage Warriors events. So definitely go give it a listen. He's an excellent kind of new part of the crew here, and looking forward to seeing what goes on with him. But, it's a double Saturday of MMA because Bellator decided to go up against UFC again. So, whatever.
Get that. Just do it on Friday, man.
Without further ado, I need to introduce my fellow hosts here. First, I got to start with the second of the celebrities here. It's Bryan Pooh Bear Battle here from the show. Still with us, UFC middleweight Bryan Battle. How you doing tonight, my friend?
Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk about all 15 of these fights.
15. I already talked about 14 fights today. I'm just getting warmed up.
Not 11, not 12.
Not 13.
Not 13.
Not 14.
15 fights. But I mean,
I can't wait for the first 20 fight card.
It's coming. Don't say it.
It's going to be like for Tokyo or something. They'll call it like a Godzilla card or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it'll just be like an all-day event or some goofy stuff like that.
They are all-day events. They are all-day events. We're just desensitized at this point that we spend 7 hours every Saturday. It's just only a couple more hours too all day. But also, I don't know if I said this because Elliot's saying in the chat, the Ultimate Fighter winner. I think I've just left that out with the intro at this point because when you got on the Ultimate Fighter, you had won the Ultimate Fighter. So I was just like,
let me just get that dust off your shoulder, Bryan, real quick. Just get that dust off your shoulder real quick.
But yes, indeed, Alec is here. The Dream Team. This is the Dream Team, guys. If you're here at the ground level, congrats because we're only going up from here, and it's
only one place to go.
Look at what Bryan's doing. That's what this whole channel is going to be doing. We're all heading to the big leagues together. But before I go any further, my other fellow host here, leading the ship, the reason the channel exists, pointing to herself because she knows it. It's Miss Boston comments herself. I'll never call her Miss again. Apologize there. It's Bunny.
I'm gonna shut up.
How you doing?
Doing great. So happy to be here. Fucking 15 fights, dude.
Yeah, 15 fights.
15.
Well,
there's some fun fights on this card, dude.
Yes, there
That's
are.
What I'm saying. Main event, by the way, Ryan Superman Spann taking on Anthony Lionheart Smith in a sneakily pivotal 205 matchup. And I got a lot to say. I got a theory. I do a podcast with a movie podcast, and it's Digesting Cinema with Aaron and Christina. My co-host Christina hates my theories. Like we always start episodes, and I'm like always like, I just want to warn you, I got a theory, and she kind of rolls her eyes. It's nice to be here where my theories are so welcomely open, or openly welcomed, I should say.
What is fandom without theories? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, if you can't like start making theories and hypothetical situations about stuff, like what's the fun? You know what I'm saying? That's what
let me tell you.
This isn't Digesting Cinema though. We got 15 fights to do, but
we do have 15 fights, so I'm getting moved. I'm getting moved ahead by my producer here in my ear. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this 15 fight card here. It is taking place at the Apex. So again, they're still kind of going no crowd for some, but there was an event that had tickets go on sale today that I might have gotten tickets to, but again, this isn't Digesting Cinema.
I'm so excited.
But this isn't Digesting Cinema. We'll definitely be talking about leading up to, but Aaron the Dog MMA will be on site at 268. So do not worry. We will have full coverage there. But without further ado, we're jumping in with a flyweight bout. And yeah, we're hearing the steak sizzle early here on a 15-fight card because this is as steaky of a steak fight as steak fights get. I will admit, this fight not my favorite on the card. And when it opens with a fight like this, you get kind of concerned because you're like, uh-oh, are we about to have kind of the UFC where it's getting rid of a lot of fighters we don't want to see fighting or whatnot, but. I do think the worst fight is the first fight here. I don't mean to be harsh here, but Emily Whitmire 4-4 against 5-2 Hannah Goldie. They both do have a particular thing in common. I don't need to bring it up. If you happen to know it, then you know it. If you don't, then you don't. Hannah 24K, Goldie is 5-2, and she's certainly a specimen. On a 2-fight losing streak, though, not the best of fighters. Only 29 years old here. Fighting Fusion XL at this point. Still lost her last two. First to Miranda Granger. That was back in August, and that was at flyweight. She moved down to strawweight, took on Diane Bibliata, and kind of just didn't throw a whole lot of volume, didn't throw a whole lot of rhythm to her striking. She was very, very rigid and just kind of got outworked and outclassed in that one by a girl in Bibliata who didn't have a win coming into that fight and didn't look all that great herself. Emily Whitmire 4-4, 30 years old, fighting out of Syndicate MMA, Coach John Wood, training with JoJo Calderwood, training with Roxanne Modafferi. Definitely has the better training partners as opposed to Fusion XL. However, with Fusion XL, I do know that Jillian Robertson's been coming down there to work with Hannah Goldie. I do like those two working together. They're actually former opponents. So that's definitely helpful, especially in this matchup. Emily Whitmire did lose to Jillian Robertson back in the day. Emily Whitmire's wins are over Jamie Moyle, who did nothing in the UFC, not great, and Alexandra Abu. Not great either. I'm getting a little echo.
That's all on you, dude. It was the last time you did your breakdown, you had an echo too.
Huh.
I just gotta know though, is the OnlyFans, is that what you're talking about? Do they both have OnlyFans?
Yeah, they both have an OnlyFans, Jackie. They both have an OnlyFans.
Emily, why?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
Goldie.
Yeah,
I'm
loser.
not surprised, but
Goldie,
Emily.
why?
Emily Whitmire. Hey, you know what? I'm not even going to get into this conversation, but my pick in this fight. Focus, Aaron. My pick in this fight is not my OnlyFans pick, but my pick for the fight. And I am picking Hannah Goldie in this one. I just think that striking-wise, Emily Whitmire, not great in the striking department. Emily Whitmire is going to have to get this to the ground and get into a submission. I don't think she exactly is going to look to be on the feet too much. So it's really kind of a pick 'em. It's a very close, low-level women's fight. Honestly, Emily Whitmire last fought in August of 2020 and got armbarred inside of 2 minutes by Polyana Viana. And then she got rear naked choked by Amanda Hebus. No shame in losing to Hebus, especially. But yeah, Miz going with Goldie as well. And yeah, who the fuck knows? Bunny, what are your thoughts on this steak fight here? And which OnlyFans would you subscribe to?
OnlyFans aside, I also have Goldie. I knew it was OnlyFans, bro. You gotta let them make their money.
I'm not hating.
Goldie by decision. I'm not really invested in this fight. I think it is cool that Emily was beaten by Jillian, and then Hannah has a win over Jillian, but Hannah has a win over Jillian by decision. So I'm not sure.
I think it was both their first fights too, first pro fight.
And yeah, I don't know. Was Emily on Tough? Was she on Tough?
Yeah, she was on the first season of the flyweight.
Tough 26, right? Tough season 26.
Gaethje and I forgot who else was on there.
Cool. I don't know.
Gaethje and Alvarez. I
don't know. Emily's workouts are intense, but she's 4-4. I don't know. Goldie's 5-2. I'm going Goldie decision, but I've got nothing riding on this fight. So, Brian,
yeah, that's about it. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just like in my head. Emily has to have gotten better overall this time, right? Like that's just like I've seen Goldie recently, and it wasn't good, and I haven't seen Whitmire, and I'm going like she has to have gotten better, and so I'm going Whitmire by decision.
I like it. Okay.
But that's a really just like a hopeful take on this. You know what I mean?
I think this is one.
No
it's a 15. It's a 15 fight card. If you're betting on Emily Whitmire and Hannah Goldie, stop. Get some help. Like cue the Michael Jordan commercial. Seriously, you have a serious problem. You need to Google Gamblers Anonymous and stop betting on Emily Whitmire Hannah Goldie fight.
Let's not spend too much time on this fight.
Yeah, but my stake will be.
Incredible fighters.
They are, all due respect always, but we do have a little comedy as we talk about certain fights, and this fight is worth laughing at. Plus 105 for Hannah Goldie, minus 125 on Emily Whitmire. Brian has the favorite here.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elliot, dare you say steak fight? Aaron said it about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, man. I am glad that the steak fight is becoming a thing. I did let my old roommate know I used to watch fights with, and I always called it a steak fight even back then. And he's cracking up that it's now becoming an actual term. It's going to be a national term at some point.
No, good. Keep it up, Elliot. But let's move on to the bantam.
No, I am moving on. So
Bunny's aggressive.
Moving on to the 125 division here. We got a fight between Gustavo Lopez and Hayley Alatang. Shout out to me on that pronunciation. I've been working on it for the last couple of days. Thank you very much. Yeah, I wasn't doing great earlier, so I worked on the pronunciation for tonight. But the Mongolian Knight here, I'll be breaking down first. 29 years old, 5'5", 66.5-inch reach. We're definitely down at the bantamweight division. I might have said flyweight division before. It is bantamweight, though. But 14-8-1 for Hayley Alatang here, coming off of a kind of close loss to Casey Kenny. I mean, there's no shame in losing a decision to Casey Kenny. It was in October of 2020. Prior to that, won his first 2 fights in the UFC. The fight over Danan Bachiro, very, very impressive. Danan's gone on to really show how powerful he is with striking. Should probably take my phone off the table or turn it off vibrate eventually. But either way, you think focus. Hayley Alatang, good wrestler, very good overhand right. Showed it definitely in the Bachiro fight. The Ryan Benoit fight kind of suffered from the fact that he doesn't always string together a lot of combos. Sometimes he gets a little bit one shot with his striking. I know I said that about Hannah Goldie, but with Hayley Alatang, it also kind of happens. He'll kind of plod forward and try to time that overhand right and land it. So definitely, I think why he had a split there against Casey Kenny just was the lesser of two bantamweights there. But overall, good power for Hayley Alatang. I think he's gotten much better. He's faced a pretty high level of opponents outside of the UFC also. Kaya Sakura, especially went on to be a champion with one. Gustavo Lopez, 12-6 here for the former Combate Americana bantamweight champion, 32 years old, 5'5", 67-inch reach, fighting out of Extreme Couture. We're going to be saying that a lot tonight. So get ready because we got a lot of Couture representatives.
Right.
Coming off of a really tough fight with Adrian Yanez. No shame at all in that, but I mean, he came forward and took a lot of shots in that fight in all seriousness, and it was only in March of this year, so he took off a good amount of time. It's got to take off about 6 months from that fight, so should come back recovered enough from that. Definitely facing a much more kind of basic striker here in Hayley Alatang. They're both very good wrestlers, so it is going to cancel each other out. It's going to be a stand-up war. Can Gustavo throw the volume needed over 3 rounds? I personally think he should be able to. I think that Hayley Alatang is just the better technician here. And because of that, I'm going to lean towards Hayley Alatang. It's not one of my more confident picks on the night because I do feel of the two of these guys, Gustavo is the one who, if it comes down to 1 round apiece in the 3rd round, I think Gustavo steps on the gas here and puts it away. So I'm going to go with Hayley Alatang. Not one of my more confident picks, but I just think that he's gotten better through his UFC tenure. If one of these guys is the better wrestler, it's going to be Hayley, I believe. But super close fight again. Not investing super heavily in this, but I'll lean towards Alatang.
All right, Brian, go. I'm writing down your picks as well, so I know where I compare on my clipboard.
Oh, I appreciate that because then I'll ask you what I picked on Saturday, and that will help.
I forget all this.
So you're keeping the tally. Okay, very nice.
Keeping notes. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of just I'm looking at the same fence you're looking at. I'm just a little bit on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm riding with Gustavo on this one just because it's close. It's close, but I always like the volume fighters, especially when it's this close. You know what I mean? I think this is a better matchup for him than fighting Yanez. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say Hayley Alatang was better than Adrian Yanez.
No, I'm saying, but it's like a better matchup for him too. You know what I'm saying? Like even as far as like skills and everything goes, it's just a better matchup for him.
Sure.
And so, yeah, man. Yeah, I think Gustavo gets a decision.
I think we know who Bunny's going with, but I'd love to hear why.
I have such a good poker face. Are you sure you don't know who I'm
seriously,
picking?
I just you're a closed book over there.
Ryan, I didn't think you were gonna pick Gustavo. That's pretty fucking cool, dude. Sweet. Extreme.
I'm all over the place. I'm just like I'm a wild man today. I was looking at these picks and I'm just like going with my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't it amazing on a card like this that you could flip all of your picks and still?
I love it. Go with your heart always.
Yeah. Well,
no. Sometimes you got to go with your brain, but
yeah. I mean, my brain is telling me to go.
Not if you don't bet.
Well, no. Even if you don't bet, okay. Bunny, why are you going with Gustavo? Why do you see this fight going down?
Aside from the fact that he's fighting out of Extreme Couture.
Right. Besides from the fact that he's fighting out your home gym.
I don't know. Gustavo reminds me of Diego Sanchez in a way, both in looks and in fights. And I got a soft spot for Diego, so that's just bias. But I also couldn't find a lot on Alatang. I have trouble picking fighters who I can't. I like really searched for him, and I didn't really. Not only did I not know his opponent so much, but I couldn't find a lot of his fights, so it was hard to sort of judge that. Gustavo has a win over Cub Swanson's older brother, and I know that Steven Swanson only got into fighting 7 years ago, but it's.
He was 13-2 when he beat him. Like that's pretty good.
Oh wait, Steve Swanson?
Steve Swanson. Yeah, he was 13-2 when Gustavo beat him.
All this plays into my bias, so like that's why people know to listen to you guys over me. But I can't help it. I have a bias. I love Cub Swanson and I love Steven Swanson.
I didn't even know Cub Swanson had an older brother.
Yeah, that was like I had no idea until you brought that up.
Honey's dropping knowledge on you boys.
Whoa.
That's facts.
But that was in 2017. To be fair, that was a while ago. So, but I don't know. From what I can tell, I mean, there's no way I'm not going with this extreme couture.
Hey, it's
Lopez by TKO.
Ooh.
I like it. Say it with your chest.
Nothing against Alatang either. I mean, what I
Well,
saw.
no, our picks are never against anybody. It's and they're always with respect.
Sometimes my picks are against.
Yeah, but I make it really clear when they're against some. Like we make it hella clear when it's one of those spite picks.
Brian is also the only one that's ever been in the octagon, so he gets to beat.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
I gotta always say the disclaimer, like I'm just a fan. So, so Lopez, So Lopez by TKO.
All right, Bunny and Brian have the underdog at plus 110, minus 130. I got the favorite in Hayley Alatang. Yeah, give me that favorite. I'm all about making the smart, sensible call. I just pick all favorites. I just pick all favorites, guys. I don't even look. I don't even research that. Yeah, exactly. I'm just a sheep. I'm just a sheep. One thing I just want to point out really quick for people. You did point out that you kind of were having trouble finding Alatang tape, and particularly with the Chinese fighters, I do have that trouble a lot. On Tapology, next to the name, if you highlight the Chinese characters and you copy and
you
paste.
could not wrestle Brian and beat him all day. I would love to see it, but I bet my next paycheck that you couldn't fucking touch Brian. But nice try.
Hold on. But
I don't think so, Justin. But cute. Okay, everyone's laughing at him too.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's cool though.
Watch out for Justin Villegas, guys.
Justin, come on the gym sometime, bro. Justin, I like the spunk, bro. Come by, bro. I'm with it, dude. Come on, man.
Look at this.
I'm at highest Sam Matthews. I'm here, baby. I'm here for it. Let's go.
But I did want to say that if you're having trouble finding Chinese fighters info, take the Chinese characters next to their name on Tapology, copy and paste it into Google, and you'll often find fight tape from over when they're fighting in China. Just a little tip for anybody when they're looking for a little info on some of these guys. Zhu Rong also had to do that for. But, just a little tip there. A little pro tip there. It helps you if you're just looking for some extra tape because we didn't have enough tape to look at with 15 fights here. But really good second fight, close fight. We've had at least one disagreement on each of the first two. I think that's totally reasonable and makes sense. And moving on to the next fight here, super excited for this one.
Fight of the night.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bunny did already credit this as her fight of the night. And I am not sure if she's going to be wrong, frankly. Welterweight matchup here between Impa Kasagane, who I think Brian has a little bit of knowledge about. We'll talk about that in a moment. Taking on Carlston Harris. I've maybe watched the Brian battle Impa Kasagane fight once, twice, 3, 4, 15, 20 times. I love that fight. Brian fought Impa Kasagane as an amateur, and he might have 10-8'd him in 2 rounds. So really good timing on this wrestling comment by Justin here. Go watch the Impa Kasagane fight and Brian battle fight and come back and talk to me. But a lot of love for Impa here, and for good reason. I really think he's a great guy, very likable. I mean,
sweetheart.
He's an absolute sweetheart. I mean, you two in the cage together just makes me kind of want to cry.
It's almost too much sweetness, but
yeah, it really
at the same time. How it's such a juxtaposition. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Carlton Harris here. Carlton Harris, 16-4 here for the Ghanaian fighter. He is fighting out Rio de Janeiro, Brazil now. Fought in May of this year. Fighting our RFT fight team in Rio de Janeiro. Fought in May of this year, picking up a big win against Christian Aguilera. That was a fight where Carlston somehow was, like only a 2-1 favorite. He really looked like about 4 to 5-1 favorite in that fight. It was just like he just absolutely went in there, did what he needed to do. This guy is an absolute choke master, both not just Darce chokes, but also anaconda chokes. He has a Darce choke of 17-1. Syed Izagamayev, who was a very good fighter over with UAE. That was in January of this year. He fought in September of last year, getting a finish with second round punches. He fought in December of the prior year. Not the highest level of competition there. He did get knocked out by Jarrah Hussein Al-Sawai, who's currently kind of on a real run himself. He has a win over Wellington Turman on his record. Michelle Pereira back in the day. That's a very good win to have. He's Jolton Lutterbox over with BFL and had a good run. Carlston really took his time to get over here. 34 years old, making his debut is pretty rare, but he really seems to have the goods. His stand-up is so-so. The submission game is really where Carlston stands out for me, though. His submission wrestling game is some of the best in the division, potentially. So this is a really interesting matchup for Impa, in my opinion. I think this is a great fight. Impa 9-1 as a pro, 27 years old, fighting out of Sanford MMA now. 75-inch reach with the 5'11" height, coming off that rear naked choke win of Sasha Palatnikov. It was a good performance. We kind of now seen with Sasha. He's been a little bit exposed for not being the highest level of a welterweight, but it was a good welterweight debut for Impa. He looked really strong and seemed to make the weight cut no problem, so that's not a worry to me. Obviously, the Joaquin Buckley spinning back kick happened, but besides that...
Okay.
Yes.
I have a lot to say about that one, but I'll wait my turn.
No, don't worry. But yeah, I think this is a great fight. It's really well matched. It's all about, to me, can Harris wrestle and get the takedowns? If he can't, it's over. It's Impa all day. Impa's pressure, Impa's volume, Impa's athleticism. The experience is close between the two, but UFC experience is with Impa. But there's like something that keeps kind of tickling the back of my brain, telling me to give Carlston the nod in this one. And I don't know what it is, but I'm going to just have to ignore the brain here. I'm going to go with Impa. This is a heart pick for sure, but I think that Impa really took a lot from that miracle loss, and I call it a miracle loss because if he beat Joaquin Buckley in that fight, he's facing Sean Strickland, like a Brendan Allen, a top 15 to top 10 middleweight opponent. And I don't think that was what Impa needed 2 years into his career. It was a tough loss. I know that Bunny has much more on it. I think this is a close fight just for me. I'm not confident that that he's going to be able to get Impa and keep Impa down. I know that Brian has a lot to say about that too, so I'll leave that at that for my pick. My pick is Impa. I think this is going to go to a decision. I think it's a very close fight. I think, honestly, the first 3 fights on the card are extremely close. 4 fights, actually. So, I mean, this is another – I mean, close fights often lead to decision, so I'm definitely leaning a lot more decisions early on in this card. But, yeah, I got Impa by decision.
Third, okay.
Bunny, Give me your thoughts, and then we'll finish with Bryan, who's fought one of these gentlemen.
Real quick, Elliot said, "Bunny, how do you feel about the Darce?" Which is hilarious because everyone knows the Darce joke is my favorite submission.
Elliot, no pandering to Bunny. And we all know.
Also, Zach, yes, this is Pooh Bear, the middleweight tough champion, and soon to be UFC middleweight champion. That is Bryan Pooh Bear Battle. Go follow him on Instagram. You'll find his little. See if we're getting better at this. That's his Instagram handle. Follow that right there. Okay, so Zach, yes, that's him. Justin, I don't know what turtle you're talking about, but there's no turtles in this dojo. Dude, I'm sorry, but that Buckley KO was fucking great. It was, and I think what $100 grand because it was knockout of the year, right?
Yeah. I mean, it won every award. It got the Kanye West, whatever, something with Kanye West.
About Kanye West, but it was fucking fantastic. But he then got his ass whooped by Alessio. You know what I mean? So I'm saying like everybody's. Oh my God, Thamaris, she's here in the chat. She's very supportive of the channel. So just
excellent. Welcome, Thamaris. Make her feel welcome in the chat, guys.
Yes, please do. She works with. She's dating Tony's baseball.
Yes, I'm very familiar. Tony's baseball also in the chat. So yeah. So but I also have Impa winning, but it is a close fight because I tend to vote Brazil. I'm big on Brazilian fighters. Harris is like a fucking anaconda, man. He'll 1-2 you, then snatch your neck up real quick and then lock you in for the win. So it's a really close fight. I really do love Impa. I think. Yeah. Justin's on your side here, calling it a leg uppercut. I haven't heard it called that, but that's exactly what it was. Well,
that's cool. Well, I'm mad that he called out Pooh Bear, so I don't really want to talk to Justin.
Dude, she's a bulldog, man. She's not funny. She's a fucking pit bull.
Impa's young. He's in his prime. He's got some gnarly ground and pound. I think that win over Buckley was I'm torn on this one because it was close, but I'm also going Impa. But I'm going. Oh, I didn't write anything. I have it fight of the night. You said decision, which is interesting, but dude, now that you speak, Aaron, this is when it gets tough. But I'm going Impa. I'm going Impa, and I'm going KO. I'm doing it.
Yeah, you are. Impa by KO for Bunny.
What's so funny, fellas?
Nothing is funny ever. Nothing is ever funny.
I mean, well, I'll tell you a funny story about Impa. I mean, it's not really. It involves Impa. It's about my teammate. My teammate fought Impa when they were like early pros, and it was kind of, it was kind of it had like a little bit of a thing because I had fought Impa before, you know what I mean? And they were fighting, and my teammate was doing good, but then Impa caught him with a hook, and it dropped him. And then Impa jumped on his back.
Oh my God!
And after Impa jumped on his back and started choking him, he just stood up, right? Like he didn't go into his like rear naked choke defense. He stood up. And he looked kind of confused, and then, eventually, he tapped or whatever. And he said afterwards, because he got dropped, he didn't even realize that Impa had jumped on his back. Like he said, he stood up and was like looking for him. He was like, "Yo, where did this guy go?" And he was like, "Oh, damn, I'm getting choked out right now." I was like, that, it's just how it is sometimes. You hate to see it, man. You hate to see it.
That is just a workplace hazard that you have to deal with that I don't.
Sometimes you just have a dude on your back.
This man is on my back, choking me unconscious. Where did he come from?
Sometimes you have a dude on your back.
Yeah, it's like you think they're in front of you and they're really not. But this fight, it's a really interesting fight.
You terrified Fujifilm.
Sweet.
I think Harris this is a really good test for Impa, because I think somewhere where he doesn't get tested a whole lot is his grappling defense. Like up to this point, he's been the aggressor in his UFC with his grappling. And that's really something you haven't seen exploited since I fought him all the way back when we were amateurs. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's really attacked. I mean, but it's true for whatever reason. No one's really attacked his his grappling, but his own offensive grappling has looked sensational in his run so far. With that being said, I will be very interested to see if Harris can get him down, what he looks like off his back. I mean, he is an explosive guy, hard to control, but I mean, that's a high level grappler that you got on you, and someone who's really dangerous. With all that being said, Impa is a guy who's going to do everything right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not going to beat himself. You got to beat him. And I don't think Harris is going out there and beating him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Impa's I think he's going to be smart about it. He's going to know where to play it safe, where to, take his shots. I think he's going to avoid the ground like it's the Black Plague. And, I think he's going to get the decision victory.
Yeah. All right. This is our first unanimous choice here. We are all on Mr. Impa. Welcome, Pain Fight picks. Glad to have you here. Salutations.
Yes. Look who we have here. We have Bryan fucking Battle, dude.
Yep.
Come on, dude.
Yep. And then
I need to download a VPN so I can bet on fights in North Carolina. Like I can only bet on fights when I go out of state. So I need to download.
Then Fuji, welcome to the betting circle. I'm working my way on Bunny here too, making her a degenerate. But yeah. No, it's good to have everybody here. It was at middleweight your fight with Impa, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to fight at light heavyweight though. I had a cut from 222 pounds.
So you're right.
On Monday, I was 222 pounds. By Friday, I was 186 pounds. It was terrible.
Ken aided him on short notice cutting.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like, and just, it's definitely, yeah, definitely. And definitely, Bunny's input is as welcome here as anybody else's for sure, Justin. And we love having her perspective as well as Bryan's. So, glad to have everybody. This is definitely sticking to Wednesdays. We've never had this many people watching the show. So, Wednesdays it is. We got 15 currently. And that usually is a little inaccurate. It usually underreports it by one or two. So, I don't know. I'd be happy doing this for one person watching. So it really doesn't mean a lot to anybody who's watching. It's pretty cool. Less opinions, more of Chico's. I agree. Sorry. I need to get rid of that comment. That's blocking that's blocking. Yeah. But yeah, it's we'll keep going here. Next fight is at 125. It is between Miss Erin Blanchfield and Sarah Alpar. This is an interesting one. Mostly interested in seeing how Erin Blanchfield looks. To be honest with you, I've been really excited to see her debut for a while. I'm glad that Norma Dumont had trouble making 135 because Erin Blanchfield originally was supposed to take her on short notice a couple months ago, and that would have been a rough fight for Blanchfield to move up in weight and take on. She was still willing to take on Norma Dumont, who missed by 6 pounds. So a natural 125 or so. Erin Blanchfield's kind of a savage. She looks like she's just like this really sweet, innocent kind of girl. 22 years old, taking on the 30-year-old Sarah Too Sweet Alpar, taking on Erin Cold-Blooded Blanchfield. Sarah Alpar, 9'5", 30 years old, 5'4", 63-inch reach, fighting out Panda Kickboxing and Grappling in Amarillo, Texas. Don't really know about that camp at all. I've never heard of it, as a matter of fact. What's that?
Sorry, my bad. They're both young. So
yeah, well, I mean, 30, it's like 30 is definitely young to me. So don't give, but Sarah Alpar, she looks like Sarah
Erin is
Alpar
22, so that's a little bit younger.
Yeah, Erin is 22. There's definitely a youth for her. Sarah's last fight was a really, really rough knee finish against Jessica Rose Clark, where Sarah Alpar's butt was just off of the canvas, like 6 inches off of the canvas, and took that absolutely brutal knee. Jessica Rose Clark, hopefully she can get back in there. She's had some knee injuries. I think she's working her way back right now. But she's one of my kind of favorite fighters. And so no real shame there. Sarah Alpar, she has some very good wins. Prior Contender Series, she rear naked choked Shayna Young. Has a win over Jocelyn Edwards, who has 2 wins in the UFC. Just fought Jocelyn Jones Lindberger back in the day, a very well-known pioneer for the game. She's been a pro since 2011. I mean, the thing is, though, she's just up against a better, younger, faster, stronger version of herself in Erin Blanchfield. Erin Blanchfield is the real deal. This is a 15-fight card. I'm not going to make it too long here. 6-1 cold-blooded Blanchfield, 22 years old, 5'4", 68-inch reach. She was willing to take on Norma Dumont on super short notice until Dumont didn't make weight. I just think she's an absolute savage. Had a win over Brogan Walker Sanchez her last time out with Invicta. Brogan Walker Sanchez now just has gone on to win 2 straight since that fight. Head kick Victoria Leonardo. And in that fight, I get a lot of people knock out Victoria Leonardo, but it was just head kick after head kick from Erin Blanchfield, who's a grappler. She's just gotten more confident. This is Blanchfield all day long here. I'll take another knockout for Blanchfield. I think she knows she can get it with the grappling, but I think the stand-up is – this is a fight against Sarah Alpar. You can show off your grappling really well. And, yeah, I just got to say I love all the new people. I'm a loser. Great.
You're not a loser. You're a winner. But I'm a loser, bro.
Global Fight Talk is – Global Fight Talk is here. I'll go to Brian here. Bunny will bring us home on this fight. So, Brian, what's your thoughts on Blanchfield? And
you said it best. This fight, I just want to see Blanchfield. Like that's what this is all about for me, seeing like how she looks at this level, man. She just like I feel like if she was a dude, she'd probably be getting a little bit more hype coming in, making
You're right.
debut.
100% right.
Brian? Hell yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I'm just because I hadn't really I had heard her name, but then
she should be this should be a very hyped up debut. I agree.
As opposed to like someone like Macy Barber, I feel like she's more well rounded. I guess they're about the same age coming in, but
she'll be fighting Macy Barber real soon, I think. So
probably will be, dude. Seriously,
that'll be fun. I think Blanchfield. She's younger. I think this is going to be a good opportunity for her to showcase her abilities. I got her by submission, though. I don't have her. I could see.
What the fuck? Okay, curveball.
Why is that such a curveball?
I don't know. She's a black belt. It's like dude, Brian can just say anything, and fucking Bunny is just gonna flip shit. Good lord.
No,
Bunny.
I'll be still faced from here on out.
Oh fuck! No.
I didn't think he was gonna say submission. He brings input to decision, but this is going to a submission. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? I told you, I'm gonna be all over. You can't predict anything I'm gonna say today.
I like it. We got submission. We got KO. I gotta think that Poker Face Bunny is also going with Blanchfield.
I'm also going with Blanchard. I would not dare write submission on here, but I love it. You know what's funny? You guys laughed. You laughed the shit out of me when I said Aldo by split decision. And this motherfucker right here, this tough champion, middleweight champion, said Blanchfield by submission. And nobody says boo. I have Blanch. I have Blanch by
like
decision.
One professional grappling matches.
I'm just gonna let Payne fight.
EVI.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just a fan, Brian. I'm just laughing. Like,
no.
How can I be so wrong?
No, hey, you know what? Hey, the good news is Saturday is on the way, and one of us will be more right than the other.
No, I love it. I love it. It's all jokes here. I have Blanche. She's just younger. I don't know. She has really good cardio. She seems to be fighting. This seems to be more of her natural weight, if not on the heavier side. I think it's cool that Sarah got the donation from. I'm not even going to say his name, but that sort of said something to me. That was like a petty donation. You guys don't remember that? You know?
Yeah. We're just not talking about it.
And then we don't need to talk about it. That is all I have written down for poor
The
Sarah.
other thing with Sarah is this is her first fight at 125 in 6 years.
Okay, there you go. So Bryan's submission win makes all the more sense to me just now. I'm still going to say by decision, but that's like, again, I don't know. I'm still going with Blanche. So we all agree on that one.
And real quick, I'm a loser. It's all good, man. You know, I think teachers are. I think teachers are important. You know, so that's good that you're a teacher, and you know,
I'm a teacher, so good for you.
Yeah, exactly. So we appreciate it.
Like, you know what I mean?
And yeah, it's just so
you know, Payne, I know she's a black belt. I have that written here on the clipboard, so I'm not saying I have that written on the clipboard.
Let them know.
Yep, get him, Bunny. Get him, Bunny. And then they said she doesn't like being patronized. Sorry, I forgot. Don't get him, Bunny.
You up.
Don't patronize
I want to get her revved up.
She trust me.
I'm trying to start trouble, man.
Oh my god. Next fight here. Montel Jackson versus JP Buys. Whoa. I got some real questions about JP Buys' decision making here. He's moving up to 135. Wasn't a particularly big flyweight. He's taking on a better, longer, stronger, quicker wrestler, striker, MMA fighter. I'm not really going to go too far into this one. I'm very unimpressed with what I saw from JP Buys against Bruno Silva. I think Montel Jackson either knocks him out or dominates him with wrestling for 15 minutes. Either way, I really have a hard time seeing JP Buys work past the reach of Montel Jackson, work past the speed of Montel Jackson, work past the skill. Montel Jackson's going to smash JP Buys. I'm just not even going to go into the reason why, but Jesus Christ. This is my most confident pick on the card. Montel Jackson all day long and twice on Sunday. And Bunny, you're fucking crazy if you pick JP Buys.
Bunny's taking JP Buys.
Oh my god,
taking JP Buys. That is it. That is what's happening.
This is worse than Almeida.
It's like, too soon,
dude. This is a mismatch. This is an absolute mismatch.
No, yeah, like
I see it. Don't worry, you're centered. The middle finger is dead ass in the middle of the screen.
I'm just gonna throw this in there quick because
Yeah, go ahead, Bryan, and then we'll finish with Bunny's explanation for her pick.
No, yeah, I'm gonna just get this out of the way. I mean, I feel like JP's Buys' best way to win this fight is to wrestle Montel Jackson, and he's.
I mean, yeah, it is the only way.
He's like gassed out in his fights at a lighter weight class, grappling against smaller guys. Like, it just, like, to me, I'm with you. I'm like, this doesn't seem to me.
And JP Buys has like a 10-inch reach disadvantage too.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like, it's like bad. It's like a yardstick away from him. Yo, look at Tony. Tony's trying to save. They're all trying to save Bunny here. Tony's like, don't do it. No.
I'm doing it. Fuck you all.
This is crazy. No, Bunny. What?
Shut the fuck up, Aaron. Bryan, who are you picking?
Obviously.
Montel Jackson by round 1 KO.
Oh my god.
Yeah, round 1 KO as well. Maybe round 2. Bunny, explain. I'm curious. How you see this fight going?
This is going to be so delicious. I can't. You know what? You're all going to have to refer back to this fucking podcast where I was the only one I was laughed at for saying that JP Buys was going to win this fight.
Oh my God! Look at Miz, dude.
I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
See,
and you know what? You know what? If I'm wrong, I don't bet on this shit. He said Bunnylicious.
Bunny, if you're right, I will
I will bow down on
I will
screen next
post
Wednesday.
it on my Instagram.
You know
I will post this clip on my
Instagram.
Instagram.
Rooting for the motherfucker that nobody else roots for. I will forever pride myself on that shit.
Yo, you are rooting for the motherfucker no one's rooting for here. Because JP Buys has you and his wife are his only two believers right now. So props.
I keep doing this to myself.
Yeah, you really you are being way too much of a hero.
Extreme Couture, JP Bays.
Oh
That's
my
what I'm going with.
Absolutely the most shocked pick you've ever made.
Fuck you.
Fair.
Hey, so
JP
I'm just kidding. But you guys are giving me some serious scrutiny for my picks. I thought we didn't judge here. I thought this was like a
No, you're right. We don't
my
judge.
explanation, or do you want to just say fuck the clipboard? Are we just saying fuck the clipboard all of a sudden?
Yeah.
I would never ever say
Dave Van
that.
Auken
I would never.
You know what? Why do you guys even have me on the show? You know what? If you don't need me here, I'll leave. I don't need to be here. Oh my God.
What does the clipboard say? No.
You know
Come
what?
back.
I can't.
Come back.
Like a welterweight, doesn't he? He's a fucking tank, isn't he? Look at him. Nice subject change.
Shredded, baby.
Nice subject change.
Shredded,
I'm
baby.
going
Tell Kamaru I'm coming for him.
So you got JP by what? Sorry, Bunny.
I don't even know. By bubblegum? I don't know.
Okay. JP. Oh my God.
So you know,
I am.
Wait. School at 17 to pursue wrestling.
Wait, no, you can't do that because I was seriously listening. You can't break in the middle. I was trying to be really into what you were saying, man, and
we're all opinions are valid here, and it's a 50-50.
As you two are straight up laughing at me into the camera.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. That's an important distinction.
I'm crying. No one's laughing on this end. I'm crying.
Oh,
no, you're not.
On the clipboard, I can't change it.
Yeah.
No.
So Bunny, you do have the underdog here, believe it or not. Plus 375 underdog, minus 670 favorite for Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson inside the distance is my pick here. I think that will cut down the value if you're betting on him. You can't bet on him at minus 670, but Bunny, I will never ever assume to know anything about your picks again.
All right, I'll just take that brutal lashing with grace, like I always do.
Yeah, no style.
You cut up Almeida though. That was pretty fucked up. That was fucked up.
I'm sorry.
You have to bring up Almeida every podcast.
Right. No, I don't.
I agree. Too soon.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
I also agreed. Did you hear me agree with you? Also agreed.
So let's move on.
Can I get some credit for agreeing?
We're going to move on to Nicholas Mata.
All right, I'm getting word in my ear I should move on to Nicholas Mata versus Cameron Van Camp. Cameron Van Camp took this fight on short notice. Nicholas Mata, I believe, was supposed to originally fight Jim Miller in this fight. Talk about a break for Nicholas Mata making his UFC debut to go from Jim Miller to Cameron Van Camp. That is quite a break. I was leaning towards Jim Miller in that fight, but this is definitely a very different fight. At lightweight, Cameron Van Camp fighting out of Lebanon, Indiana. He is 28 years old, 15-5-1. 6'1", 170er, won the HR MMA welterweight title his last time out. We know all about HR MMA. Bryan fought there before the UFC. Is it called HRMA or is it B2 fighting series now?
It's all one big thing, so it's all kind of under one home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got
that's
a couple basically tomato.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. He did win the welterweight title against a 10-7 opponent in Kenny Garaduru, and then before that fought a 5-4 opponent who looked like he was about 5'8". So his last couple of fights have been against, I won't even say decent level of competition. It's pretty low level of competition. And he beat both those guys in a minute. I don't think you get a whole lot out of those fights. Dan Stinch again, I have heard of. He's the bald guy who Wonder Boy knocked out with a head kick in his UFC debut. Do you remember that guy? Like he slapped him in the face? That's that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only reason I know who that is. He didn't finish him. He lost a decision in a little over 2 years ago to Bobby Volker. That's troubling. Bobby Volker's not great. He is a big 170er though. So Van Camp looks like a big 155er. Definitely has good grappling. His stand-up leaves a lot to be desired, for sure. But grappling-wise, he has a lot of finishes: rear naked chokes, guillotines, triangles. So definitely is a submission first type of guy. His losses are to pretty high level of competition like Austin Hubbard, Bobby Volker, Nicholas Mata, 12-3, fought on Ultimate Fighter Brazil, fought on the Contender Series. It's still only 28 years old, 5'9", 70-inch reach for the Factory X Muay Thai representative, coming off a win back in November of 2020 on the Contender Series against Joseph Lowry. That was a really good fight, Joseph Lowry. They both looked like they should have been in the UFC. I think Joseph Lowry is a tougher test here than Colin Van Camp. I do think that Nicholas Mata going up against Jim Miller was going to be a much more interesting fight. I still would be willing to see that fight. I think Nicholas Mata knocks out Colin Van Camp in this one, though. I think Colin Van Camp's kind of a sub or bust type of guy. So I will go with Nicholas Mata. Bunny, you want to give us your pick?
No, I don't want to say my picks ever again.
Oh, no.
I have Van Camp going here, which is weird because I tend to not go. I like Brazilians. He's got, I don't know. Mata has quite the record. He's BJJ, he's Muay Thai. He's pretty mature for his fucking age.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I picked Van Camp. He's fucking aggressive. That's why. I think it's because he's aggressive. Like, he pushes fucking forward. He's a bully, and if you need a bully to beat him, and I don't think Mata. I think Mata he's a great prospect, and I think he is going to be something incredible in the UFC. I just don't think he's enough to beat Van Camp's aggression. I think Van Camp is just like a fucking animal, and do you think?
To play devil's advocate, don't you think a little bit of the aggression has to do with it being a 5-4 opponent who was like 5'6" and 2 fights ago, and then a 10-7 opponent? Don't you think the level of competition might be why he's able to be that bully against these guys?
Wait, who do I think?
With Van Camp. With Van Camp being more of a bully in his last few fights, don't you think has to do with the level of competition?
I looked at Van Camp's entire record. I watched all fucking 21 of his fights.
Jesus.
So, he's got heavy hands, dude. He's fucking aggressive. I don't know. I'm going Van Camp, and I think it's because Nicholas Mata is he's pretty stocky, short and stocky, but I don't think he's as I don't know. I'm going Van Camp, and I'm going. I don't know. He's fuck you, Justin. Get the fuck out of the chat. Fuck you. You have no idea who you're messing with right here, Justin.
Do you have a finish or a decision?
I have the finish. Sure.
The finish. All right,
Please
Brian.
tell him.
Brian, who do you got in this fight, Nicholas or Van Camp? And how you see it going?
Look, I tell you, I think it'll be a lot more competitive than most people expected it to be. You know, it's really interesting with Van Camp going down to lightweight because he'll be so much bigger than Mota. Like he'll be a massive lightweight, but at welterweight, I didn't feel like he was particularly fast at welterweight. So I think Nicholas has a big speed advantage, and I think that's going to be kind of the defining factor of the fight, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You know, Van Camp, he's a tricky dude. You know, he's aggressive, but yeah, like you said, his last two fights, they lasted a minute. You know what I mean? Which is impressive on one hand, but it's also like, damn, like I can't really. Like, these are your last two fights, and, you know, what am I, you know, I can't really get too much out of these because you got like a daggum.
Justin said there's a Backstreet Boys poster. I got fucking Kobe, Nate D, and Michael Jordan. What Backstreet Boys are you talking about, bro? Get the fuck out of here. Go ahead, Brian. I want to hear what you're saying.
No, but with
I am a loser is hilarious. I'm not gonna highlight your messages here, but that Apple one was hilarious.
But I think Cameron Van Camp's gonna bring the fight to him. I think it'll be a fun fight. I think Van Camp at lightweight is potentially very dangerous, but right now I got to go with Nicholas by decision.
I like it.
Yeah, just because I think he's just faster, and you know it should be fun. It should be a fun fight, though.
I like it.
Yeah,
wait, Aaron, who did you pick? I'm sorry.
I picked Nicholas.
I like it. I like when we disagree sometimes.
Yeah,
not always, but I like it.
This is a good card for disagreements, honestly.
Yes, I agree.
I feel that though.
And Nicholas is the minus 300 favorite, plus 225 on Van Camp. I do like Nicholas by KO myself. I think that the counter shots are going to be there a lot for him in this. The jiu-jitsu is good enough to keep it off the ground, and yeah, but it will be interesting to see kind of how Van Camp responds to the step up in competition. Sometimes they thrive, other times they kind of wilt. We saw with Nate Mantis, who's on this card a little later, that he's really done well with the rise in competition. So totally understand going Van Camp. I think Van Camp is the value if you're betting here, but I'm going to take Mata here. So next fight.
I like it. Go with Brazil.
He is definitely Brazil. Next fight here is at 155. This is the fight that changed today. So glad we didn't go earlier in the week. Zurong has a new opponent going from Dakota Bush to Brandon, the human highlight reel Jenkins. Brandon Jenkins just fought a few weeks ago on PFL, so did break down his fight here on the channel. I will say right off the bat, I was wrong on Brandon Jenkins. I picked Jacob Kilburn in that fight. I thought Jacob Kilburn was going to be able to use volume and speed to get in and out, and Brandon Jenkins looked tremendous in the fight, start to finish. It was only one round, but he lived up to his nickname. Brandon Jenkins, nearly 30 years old now. I think he's really learned from his early kind of losses here, 15-7, 29, turns 30 next month. Fighting Syndicate MMA, again, really great gym there. 6 foot, 72-inch reach, nice size for the 155 division. As I said, fought a couple weeks ago, August 27th against Jacob Kilburn. Landed a switch flying knee in the first to knock him out. I'm frankly kind of surprised PFL allowed him to leave and come to the UFC, but they did. I'm curious kind of what happens with Brandon Jenkins from here, because I think that he'd be smart to go back to PFL. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble in the lightweight division in the UFC, and with the PFL, I do think it's a better route for him. But here he's facing 17-4 Zurong. Overall, he is a finisher mostly with strikes, has some knee finishes, a spinning back elbow, a flying knee. I mean, he really throws everything at his opponents here. Zurong, I was less than impressed with him in his debut. He came in with a ton of hype for his debut, was facing Kazula Vargas, a very good setup for the 21-year-old here, out of born in Tibet, fighting out of Enbo Fight Club. And Rodrigo Vargas just took it to him. I believe Rodrigo Vargas won 2 10-8 rounds in that fight off 2 of the judges' scorecards. And Rodrigo Vargas had looked less than impressive coming in. And just, yeah, I mean, I don't know how good Zurong is. He's only 21. He's faced a lot of unknown fighters leading into this, into his UFC run with WLF, which I believe has 3-minute rounds as opposed to 5-minute rounds. Wow. So yeah, there's just a lot, and I think they judge. Yeah, they judge the scoring kind of differently in WLF as well, and that's where almost all his fights were before coming to UFC. We just don't know how good he is. I definitely had Dakota Bush over him, and I'm leaning Brandon Jenkins over him as well. I think Brandon Jenkins really impressed me. He's in a good rhythm. Did not take a lot of shots against Jacob Kilburn. I get Jacob Kilburn's not huge for the division, didn't have a good run, but I think Brandon Jenkins is approaching that prime at 29, 30 years old. Learned a lot from those 7 losses, and I'm fairly certain he'll be the underdog. So, yeah, give me some Brandon Jenkins all day here. Makes it not a technical bout, but more of a brawl. Makes it slop. Makes it just a little bit more sloppy. So, Bunny, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm happy, dude. I'm happy you told me that. I think Elliot actually told me that Jenkins would be stepping in, but again, it's hard. I couldn't find much. I can't believe that Wrong is only 21 years old, dude, and he has a 17 and
crazy.
It's wild, dude.
I think
Wait, Castro, that's a dope comment. Yeah, Brian Battle is the middleweight fucking tough champion with fucking submission, 4 minutes without a mouth guard. Are you fucking kidding me?
Easy, light work. I do this in my sleep. You know what I mean?
I assume this is for Brian, but I'm sure Brian would be willing to talk with you, Josh. But if you want to talk with Bunny and get Bunny an interview, I support that at any time too.
Get me riled up, so I'll get real aggressive. Exactly. I have Brandon by KO. That's again, it's the bias. He fought with PFL, he fought with LFA. I love PFL, I love LFA. He's a great striker. He moves a lot. He controls the center frequently. He's a fun watch. But honestly, the fighters from China have been on the uprise, and they are not to be trifled with. So I think it's a cool matchup. I just thought that he was a little bit unremarkable, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. Just from what I saw, I was, he just run-of-the-mill fucking...
His UFC debut was terrible.
Yeah, it was unremarkable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm...
Terrible.
And I can't... I just gotta go with I gotta go with Jenkins on this one. He had that fucking he had that sick flying knee over fucking Kilburn at PFL, and I know that all fighters are capable of flashy knockout. He was putting it together
really well before that knee, though. It wasn't just
exactly. That's the thing, and
Impo was losing 2 rounds before he landed that spinning kick. Like, he wasn't winning that fight before, and he wasn't going to win it after if it wasn't. So it's a different situation where Brandon Jenkins was winning wire to wire and then landed a knee. It's a little different.
Yeah, you're right. No. But I do. I don't know. I like Syndicate too. I'm kind of Syndicate and XC.
Syndicate. Shout out to I love Gilby.
Gilby's the man, baby. Brian beat Gilbert, though, who was beating him in the first round, Brian.
Where's my Gilbert Urbina fans? They're not here.
They're not here. We're Brian Battle fans right here.
Woo!
Brian, go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah.
Aaron, you picked Jenkins, right?
I picked Jenkins, yes.
But how? What, finish?
Knockout.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, fuck yes! I love when we agree, too. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, man. Jenkins, his experience on with his, one PFL fight, and on the regional scene means more to me than all of my man's. Like, yeah, if those are 3-minute rounds, that's a big. Because that's like, in America, that's an amateur round. 3 minutes is like an amateur round. And I say that because it's a huge cardio difference. Like it's only two.
It's not even 2 full rounds a fight.
Yeah, no, it's a massive difference. So, yeah, I think.
Okay, because guess who won? Guess who won, though, Justin? Who won, though?
Justin.
Commission, though.
Justin.
No one's the president. There's no club, dude. His own brothers weren't even speaking up for him while he got choked out. Anyway,
Jenkins by flying knee.
God, we're all.
That's so possible.
I think this is a crazy one. Plus 260 is what this opened at for Brandon Jenkins. They're expecting Zurong to go in there and put on an absolute showcase. Here's what I'll say. We see a lot of times with guys in their UFC debut, they look like nothing like the fighter they are moving after that. So 21, I believe he was 20 years old maybe at the time of his debut. Like, it's crazy young. We really can see a different guy coming out here. When this one does become available, I probably am just going to bet the under 2.5 rounds just because we don't know how good Zurong is. We really don't. And, I mean, Brandon Jenkins just KO'd a 145er in Jacob Kilburn, but he did KO him really nicely. So I might be talking myself out of a bet here, but that's kind of how I'm seeing this one. I do think that if Zurong would have went up against Dakota Bush would have wrestled him, though, all day long. So little bum we missed out on that one, but maybe a chance for Brandon Jenkins as an underdog, being a super high value. We continue on 8 fights in. We're still in the middle of the prelims because this is a 15-fight card. So 8 fights in, it's not the featured prelim. It's another prelim.
An hour and 15.
Yeah, we're making great time. I'm shocked. Like, this is perfect.
This is
15 fights, 2.5 hours. That's what I expected. We have a lot of new fans here. I'm still getting used to the active chat. I appreciate it. Miz, I don't know why you're making this face, but I'm gonna highlight it. I agree. Whatever you're saying it about, I agree. I really love all of you in the chat, though. You're all my friends. Ask Andre how he feels about Brian's knee. Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Just here to cause drama. Justin, you in the drama. You gotta chill with the drama.
But we're gonna move on here to the next fight. I almost forgot to write it down for my timestamps, which will be available in the comments. But Pannie Kianzad taking on Raquel Pennington. This isn't quite a steak fight, but maybe I'm making my sides during this fight. Like maybe I'm prepping up a potato, maybe baking up a little bit of bacon to put on top of it. I don't know. I bake my bacon. I bake my bacon. I don't cook it in a pan because I'm a gentleman. But
very easy of you.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. But Pannie Kianzad taking on Raquel Pennington here. 15-5 versus 11-8. We'll be breaking down Rocky, Raquel Pennington first. 11-8, as I said, has not fought since November, October, June of 2020. So that's a little over a year and a half ago. We got Marianne Renault, who is now retired. Won a decision there, lost a decision to Holly Holm, won a split decision over Irene Aldana. Lost a close decision to Drain Durand-May. That's her last 4 out. I'm just going to pretend she did not fight Amanda Nunes in one of the most lopsided title fights in a long time.
Brian's shaking his head.
That was hard to watch, man.
Dude, she quit on the stool. She didn't want to go out for the 5th round, and then they made her go out for 2.5 more minutes to get her ass beat. When she said she didn't want to go out.
Man, I was That was I had fought that night, and I remember I was like on this like high, and then I just watched that fight, and I was just like, oh, I was like, this is like how
I
things
mean,
can go.
Raquel almost quit the sport after that.
Oh man.
I mean, she really did not want to ever fight again.
That fight was bad, man. Like
It was
that
real
was,
bad.
I feel the same way.
That was in the string of when we had like the Valentina Shevchenko, Priscilla Cachoeira fight where Priscilla took 245 strikes in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is more than a human being breathes. So it's like,
I mean, yeah, that fight. So we were just like seeing these ass beatings like in a row here. It was like,
oh,
yeah, it was a lot of them. This was one of the worst beatings in UFC modern title heavyweight history that I can think of.
yeah. Right.
But she came back. Yeah, she came back from it. And that fight with Jermaine Durandamy was extremely close. It wasn't by no means like a dominant decision win for Durandamy. Durandamy is one of the most dangerous strikers in the division, everything like that. Irene Aldana, we've seen how well she's done lately as well, and won a split there. Holm kind of just out-homed her. And then the decision win in her last fight out, albeit a year and a half ago, to Renault. I mean, she does what she needs to do. It's not always impressive, but I mean, Pennington, she's got that salty record, but a lot of experience here. Yeah, this is a tough one. Pannie Kianzad has been on a little bit of a roll though lately. I really like her momentum. 15-5 now for the Swedish fighter in Pani. She's won 4 straight over good competition. Jessica Rose Clark over by decision. She lost the decision to Julia Avila in her debut, but since then, Jessica Rose Clark, Betch Kohea, who's not an easy fighter to win a decision against at all. Sajara Eubanks looked really good there, and Alexis Davis, very good veteran. I just like the momentum Pannie Kianzad has right now. I think she's getting really into her prime right now. I don't know exactly where Pennington's at, but yeah, I think this is a fight that is super important for both fighters in different ways, for sure. I can totally see a spot where Pennington takes this. I'm going to take Pannie Kianzad though. I just think she's younger, hungrier, and a little bit better than Raquel. But Raquel is tricky, very, very well schooled, and obviously training with Tisha Torres and those fighters over there. Tisha Torres has looked to be in next level with her kind of dedication to a game. So if this is the case where both sides of the couple are as dedicated as each other, we could really see a good Pennington coming out here. I'm going to take Pannie Kianzad, though, by decision. I think this is going over 2.5 rounds. It's super close.
Tisha is a tiny tornado.
Tisha Torres is slowly not becoming very tiny, though. She's becoming absolutely jacked.
Like she's
Dude, it's so crazy. She's so jacked to where her opponents are saying that she's on steroids at their press conference.
Yeah, she's got unbelievable power for someone who's 5'1"? She 5'1"?
5'0".
5'0". She's 5 foot tall. She's got the power of a fucking tornado.
But yeah, Raquel Pennington, not as impressive as Tisha, but also in a very different way, really explosive as well. I'm going to take Pannie though. I might be slapping myself at this one. This is a close fight, but I got Pannie. Brian, your thoughts, and then we'll end with Tony on this one.
Dude, I mean, yeah, it's like Raquel Pennington, she's like a weird fighter, you know what I mean? Like every once in a while she comes out and she like has a fight and you're like, oh wow, that was really good. But it's like most of the time, like she comes out there and she like just like lays an egg, you know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, there's Raquel, you know what I mean? And yeah, Pannie, she's hot right now, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like she's not just beating, as far as like the women's division goes, like those chicks that she's beating are like real legitimate chicks that
very different types of girls. They're not all just grapplers or strikers. Like, yeah, it's definitely impressive.
No, it's like it's very solid. You know what I'm saying? She's building up momentum in the right way, and I think she's going to keep building up momentum in this fight too. I think she's going to get a decision over Pennington.
Nice. And Bunny, your thoughts on this one?
Oh no. I don't know. I think a loss to a Holly Holm by decision is something to fucking take into consideration, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Holly Holm is a big beast.
She is a big beast.
I don't know. All right, Penn is on what? She's on a 4-win fight streak. Is that right? Correct.
4-win fight streak. Yes.
I just think those streaks need to end sometime.
Oh no! Why? Why do the streaks need to end?
I don't. Dude, Raquel has some wins over some fucking savages, dude. I'm just a little bit older. 11-8 is kind of a record, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's like it definitely would be the best win of her career. She beat Raquel Pennington. Like I think
I have Raquel winning by decision, and I'm gonna. It's on the clipboard. I gotta say what's on the clipboard. I gotta go with it. But I understand why you guys picked Penn. Like it does make sense. She's got some decent head movement. Oh yeah, Payne, you and me both sticking together.
Yeah, I mean that is a good point. I like Alexis Davis though. I have no problem with Alexis Davis. Alexis Davis hasn't lost a second round in the UFC in a good 5 years. So put some respect on Alexis Davis's name. That is no joke. Yeah, I think it's a big step up for both for sure. Yep.
I do like Invicta. I think Penne's good. I'm not, again, this is absolutely no disrespect, but I something in me is telling me that Raquel is in for a 12-8 record. So
yeah,
I think it's a 12th win. I'm going by decision. It's also, like you said, it's not a steak fight, but it's not like, it's definitely not fight of the night. So it's like, wait, what are the odds on this fight?
Minus 125 for the favorite Raquel Pennington, plus 110 on Pani Kianzad. I'm really surprised by those odds. I was fully expecting for Pani to be the favorite, and that makes me like the bet just a little bit more. Yeah, and everything like that, and
I'm still going decision. I'm going Raquel by decision. I don't like picking favorites, but I rarely pick them, so I'm comfortable picking Raquel on this one. And I like when we disagree on some fights, fellas.
Yeah.
But this is one that I like that we disagree on. I'll learn a lot. Brian was just smiling for it too.
He's just happy. He's happy to be here.
I'm just so happy to be here. The people are talking, you know what I'm saying? It's a good time. You know what I'm saying? We're just here talking, picking fights, just getting along, having a good time.
Justin, I'm done with you and your sass. I picked who I have written on the clipboard. I don't give a shit what Aaron thinks. Bro! Yeah. Oh, you must be new here. You must be new here.
He is new here. Let's take care of our new people here. We are two.
Care of our new people.
We are the featured prelim of the night. Finally, 1 hour and 23 minutes into the podcast, we are to the featured prelim at 205. It's an excellent fight between Tefon Nchukwu and Mike Slow Rodriguez. This is a
chill.
This is
an. But to be fair, you're not wrong though. At 205, he's not that slow, but
hey, it's his nickname. It's his nickname, Slow Mike Rodriguez. That's what he goes by, not me. Taking on the Don, Tefon Nchukwu, 26, 11 years old or 11 months old, so almost 27 for Tefon. He might be turning 27 on fight night. Taking on the 32-year-old Mike Slow Rodriguez. I'll be breaking down Mike Slow Rodriguez first, 11-6. This guy has broken my heart, particularly the Ed Herman fight. He does fight out of Lausanne MMA. Really, very, very good guy. Very Boston product here. He's had some trouble in his last 4. 3 of 4 losses. Lost to Da-Un Young by knockout. He did knock out Marcin Prochniau before getting Kimura'd by Ed Herman. That's the fight that broke my heart. He was winning that fight the entire time before he got absolutely kicked in the balls as hard as he possibly could. Came back, and then Ed Herman took him down and ended up getting a Kimura on him. It really did, I really did think, I really did just think that it was a fight that Mike Rodriguez had the whole time. He had it finished several times and then allowed Ed Herman to take it. And then the last time out against Danilo Marquez, a guy I didn't exactly rate very highly, got rear naked choked. It's definitely been a rough little go of it the last few for Mike, though. And it's tough because I really did like what I was seeing out of him. He's got really good Muay Thai, flying knee finish of Jamel Jones, who we've seen over in PFL now, has a knee finish of Adam Milstead, an elbow finish of Prochnow. Tefon Nchukwu is only 5-1. He's went down to 185. Didn't seem to really work for him. Had a decision down there, then lost his last time out. Team Lloyd Irvin product. He did knock out William Knight on the regional circuit at heavyweight. Very good. Definitely has good heavyweight power. I do think that it's probably a first-round knockout for Tefon Nchukwu, or it's a decision for Mike Slow Rodriguez. If Mike can survive that first round, I think Mike takes this one, though. And I don't know exactly how Nchukwu will look at 205, but at 185, it was way too sucked out. And so as long as he doesn't look that sucked out, I'm going with Tefon Nchukwu. But definitely there's a part of me that thinks that Mike Rodriguez might be kind of playing spoiler. But I'm going to go Tefon by knockout here. He's it's pretty legit. He has some good judo as well. He doesn't typically use it, but I think he can use it to keep this fight on the feet and kind of just walk down Mike Rodriguez and put him away. So, yeah, I got Nchukwu by KO.
Yes, brother.
Hey, funny. What you got for a pick?
I don't know. All right, I also have Tefon by round 1 KO. That's what the clipboard said. I'm just
Nice.
That's what the clipboard said.
I'm annoyed with people in the chat thinking they know me. You don't know me. Stay out of my business. I make my picks based on the research that I do. Aaron's picks have nothing to do with my picks.
I know that.
You know what?
No, I know
Next pick, you gotta let Bunny go first. You gotta let Bunny.
Yeah, Bunny, you
make
get to make the first pick next fight.
I don't know. I don't give a shit. The clipboard says what the clipboard says, and the clipboard says Tefon round 1. He's from, I don't know, he's from Cameroon. Cameroon is on a fucking roll right now.
That's fair.
The whole continent of Africa is just killing.
Yeah, Africa.
It's their time right now. But also, he's 26. He's hungry. Mike Rodriguez is a little bit more slender. I don't know. And I think Tefon has this fucking... He's got almost like a similar... I know different weight classes, but he's got like a Derek Lewis type vibe where he just fucking throws some hammer fists. It's scary, dangerous. He's got a fuck ton of round 1, round 2 finishes. I feel like I'm almost scared for this matchup. I think Tefon is going to like steamroll through Mike Rodriguez. So I confidently, with a lot of confidence, I pick Tefon round 1 KO.
So you confidently, with a lot of confidence, pick Tefon round 1 KO. Got it? Brian?
That's a lot of confidence.
That's confidently confident.
That is an abundance of confidence. Yeah. And I'm not mad about it.
I don't know why you're doing this.
You got it.
Confidence.
I could totally see Tefon like landing just like murdering him in the first round, but I don't know, man. This is like one of those fights where I was watching, I was looking at it, and I was like, man, this is kind of a bad matchup. Like, it's not one of those fights where I think like Mike Martinez is necessarily like a better fighter. I said Mike Rodriguez is like a better fighter per se, but I think matchup wise, this kind of favors his style. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, no, as long as he doesn't get hit by a bomb, if he can stay at range, use his like linear kicks to kind of keep Tefon at range, I think I I think he can outpoint him and, you know, maybe land a flying knee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he is the taller guy. He's done it multiple times before. You know, I could see a situation where if Tefon gets stationary, he could launch one of those flying knees if he gets comfortable. Like you said, if the fight drags on longer. But yeah, no, I got Rodriguez by decision.
Dear God.
I'm not mad at it at all.
Just makes me a little less confident in my confidence that I was confident about.
Yeah, I just, because it is after the first round, if this fight's still going, I'm getting very nervous if I'm on Tefon's side.
I like it though. All right, Brian.
The power goes away as this goes, and just, you know, and it's all good. Everybody, Justin, everybody else. I don't remember ever seeing you before, Justin, but if you've been here before, it's all good. And if you want to troll, you can troll too. We're all good here, everybody. Like, stand down. We're all friends here. We're all here.
To not bark back. If you're gonna throw some shade, I'm gonna bark.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, you know, no one needs to cry. No one needs to feel bad. We all just need to be respectful of each other. Huh?
Am I crying?
No, he is.
Oh, okay. All right, Brian. Rodriguez by decision, you said.
I said Tefon by knockout, but
okay.
Yep. And so that will conclude the prelim section of our program tonight. But we still got a main card to go, and starts at Brian's division, 185. Sorry, 135. Not yet. 185. Joaquin Buckley taking on Mr. Antonio Arroyo. This fight, I don't really know what to think about this fight. This is a weird one for me, and one I will not be betting too heavily here. For one, Antonio Arroyo, I just have not been very impressed by him so far. 9-4 in the UFC for the Brazilian, 32 years old, 6'3", 73.5-inch reach. Came in, pitched as kind of a Thiago Santos clone, but not really what we've seen so far in the UFC. Andre Muniz, we've seen how good he is. You went to a decision with him. It was the decision loss to Darren Wynn that kind of made me realize how Arroyo wasn't quite ready for the higher league of competition. He really gasses after about a round. He throws pretty much kicks only, doesn't really mix it up with the wrestling, doesn't mix it up too much here. The UFC wants to get Joaquin a win here really badly, and they've got him a matchup that I think is pretty favorable. Joaquin, much quicker, much more kind of in and out with his strikes, uses more punches. You know, he's definitely small for the division at 5'10", but it's strong enough, has good power and everything. Obviously, the knockout at Impa was fine, but he was losing that fight till he was winning it. Same with the Kevin Holland fight. He was actually doing better in, I think, before he lost that fight. I think he was doing pretty well, and that was on short notice. And then there was the Jordan Wright fight, and that fight was another fight. I think he was pretty fortunate to get the finish in, but I mean, he ended up crashing and getting the hooks to get the finish. I definitely think a lot about Jordan Wright. I think Jordan Wright's actually pretty damn good, so that's a good win there. Joaquin Buckley, long story short, should be able to get another finish here over Arroyo sometime in the second or third round, I think. First round is when Arroyo's most dangerous, so I think Buckley's a little more cautious in round one, but Joaquin gets back on the winning track here. I think pretty confidently. I think it's a pretty favorable matchup for him. But if the kicks are able to keep Joaquin at distance and he can't get in, then he can't land and he doesn't win the fight. So, I got Joaquin though to get back on the schneid after that tough head kick finish against Di Chirico.
By what did you say? By finish?
I'll say Joaquin by third round KO.
Very specific. I like it.
Yeah.
Brian.
And we'll go to Brian next.
I think this fight is a good matchup for both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the whoever wins this fight, I mean, it says like, I think it's like low key a big deal for both of them because both of them, they kind of what they're good at. I'm saying like Joaquin. He's a fast, athletic dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a scary striker, but he's not necessarily like someone who's setting traps and like scaring you with how like sophisticated his striking is. You know what I'm saying? And he has a problem dealing with guys who are longer than him. So I think unless he overwhelms him, kind of like you mentioned, like he did with Jordan Wright, or I just don't. I can see him overwhelming him early, but I can also see. I think Antonio gets the finish in this fight. It's like my gut feeling. I'm sorry. I'm just like watching this. I'm sorry.
Wait, buddy.
I'm glad. I'm relieved.
So, Bunny, you're telling me you're picking Colin Van Camp, you're picking JP Buys, and you're picking dude. What? Why are you picking Antonio Arroyo? Talk to me.
No, you talk to Bryan first because he's.
Why am I the only person who's picking? Why am I the only person who's picking Joaquin Buckley on here? Am I taking crazy pills?
I don't trust what, like you said. I mean, even the fights that he's winning, even the fights that he wins, like you're watching them, and a lot of the time,
at least he's winning fights. What fights are Joaquin? What fights are Arroyo winning?
Thank you.
I think this will be the one that he wins.
Oh my God, he finally wins one.
Aaron,
he couldn't beat the 5'6" middleweight and Duran win.
But Duran wrestles him. Like Joaquin doesn't wrestle.
He didn't wrestle in that fight. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Bunny.
He's all mad now. You're looking at numbers on a paper. Did you watch his fights? Did you see his style and how he proceeded to fight? If you go up against
did I watch the fights, Carl?
What have you made fun of every pick that I've made this evening?
That's being a little bit.
You know what? I'm no longer going to defend. I have on this piece of paper, I have written down Arroyo by. I don't want to say it. You're going to make fun of me. I have Arroyo by KO. And you know what? I'm sticking with it. Bryan has Arroyo by. Wait, how did you say he was going to win, Bryan?
KO.
Yes! Yes!
Bunny, if I can can I give a little advice?
No, you can't, because I'll tell you why. Because I was under the impression that this was a free, judgment-free zone to discuss MMA opinions. And you keep bringing up Almeida.
I brought him up like a half hour ago. What time?
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
This is what you do. I have not brought up Almeida in quite a while, and then you just brought him up.
Coach, can you show me the replay, please? Because you brought him up earlier.
Did I know? I brought him up when you picked JP Buys.
Oh my God.
That was a half hour ago.
We have at bantamweight. We've got Nate Man. Yep, we've got.
It was at 46.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah. Hold on. It was at 46:35. We discussed the Montel Jackson fight. It is now 1 hour and 38. It is now 1 hour 38 minutes into the episode. I haven't brought up Almeida in over an hour.
You bring him up every card, though. How long ago was that?
Now you're changing the argument. No, first it was that how many times in this episode am I
on the Sugar Sean T? You want to bring up Almeida every single fucking time.
Unbelievable. You bring him up more than I do, and then I get blamed for you bringing him up. Don't worry, the argument is time-stamped, everybody. 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 30 seconds.
I thought this was
quarrel.
a free zone. You know,
I did too.
A tough chance.
I did too.
Right. you know what, Brian? This shows that I have to win a middleweight tough series in order to not get judged for my opinion.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to just cut out for tough real quick. I'll game, 200 pounds.
The odds on this fight. I'm not judging, but the odds are going to make Arroyo the underdog here. Arroyo is a plus 170 underdog.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not at all. It should be worse.
There was a minus 800 on the Bellator card somewhere. And you want to judge me for a minus 170.
I do not want to judge you. I do not want to judge you. God damn.
Oh my God.
Oh. You're acting like I'm your enemy here. I'm fucking on your team.
I'm having a great time. I think people are liking it. I'm just
no.
Look, Danielle Castro said under 200, not bad.
I also said not bad. Don't give him credit. Give me credit.
It's not bad. This is a really fun card, though.
I'm having a blast.
I will say, I think Bunny on Tough would be must-watch TV.
Oh my God! Honestly,
every week.
Bunny is the next Laura Senko. I just want to say that for everybody.
I hope Senko sits on her chair and like stomps her feet just like I do. Right?
Literally, and just like when she was talking about giving respect to all fighters, and like that's her legacy that she wants to leave. Just look no further. I gotta breathe for a second. My God!
Right. Well, I make these. Just remember, I'm picking people that nobody else is picking. So, like, I'm not saying that I don't bet on this. I've got nothing to lose other than pride, which means a lot.
No. Now, listen, Bunny. Normally, I'm on your side, but I don't want you to take any back steps. I want you to be like. I want you to pretend like you're putting money on all these picks. I want you to be like, I am confident these picks are right, damn it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's
Aaron.
Oh, Brian. I could say the same thing and you'd be like, shut up, Aaron. Shut up. I don't want to hear it, Aaron. You're just trying to be nice. I'm never trying to be nice. I am a rebel and a mean customer. Anyways, on to the next fight here. You don't want to get on my bad side. I'm a dangerous fella. 135 here for Nate Mantis versus Tony Gravley. 21-6 Tony Gravley taking on 13-1 Nate Mantis. This is definitely a very interesting fight here at bantamweight. Tony Gravley, I will be breaking down first. The 29-year-old. There's Chico says hello in the background. Of course, he's a big Tony Gravley fan. The wrestler out of Appalachian State, now fighting out of American Top Team, has won his last two after losing his debut to Brett Johns. Brett Johns, that was a really great fight. Went into the third round. Brett Johns actually won fight of the night for that fight. Brett Johns ended up getting the rear naked choke and definitely showed he belonged in the UFC. Gerald DeFreitas got a split decision. That was not all that impressive in that fight. Honestly, Gerald DeFreitas is not that great either. And then Anthony Burchak ended up getting a left hook hammer fist finish in the second round. The first round, honestly, got all he could handle from Anthony Burchak, which not exactly what you want to be hearing or seeing. Anthony Burchak didn't have the best run in the UFC either of his times. It's a little bit tough on this one. Tony Gravley, there's been a lot of promise from him at times. Has a win over Chris Moutinho in CES by knockout. Knocked out Ray Rodriguez. Definitely has good power. Knocked out Draco Rodriguez as well. So has some very good wins on the regional scene. Losses only to top flight competition like Patchy Mix, Mirab Dishavili, and Manny Bermudez back when Manny Bermudez was focused on fighting and not just getting into every shitty club in Boston and throwing away his entire fight career. But that's for another fight podcast. Manny Bermudez could have been one of the best, and instead he chose to drink it away. It sucks.
Damn, dude.
And he's still drinking it all away right now. It's a complete waste of...
Huh? Nothing.
It's a complete fact. So I'd say it to him. If he wants to come on, I'll say it to his face,
I
too.
like it. Keep it up.
I saw firsthand him throw away his entire potential for booze, and it just kind of sucks. But back in the day in 2017 when he was undefeated still, he was looking really good. And Tony Gravley, good wrestler, has decent stand-up, not bad. Nate Maness, this is going to sound bad. I don't really know what Nate Maness is good at. And that's props to him. He's 13-1. So one thing he is good at, getting the wins in his fights. Defensively is where he's strongest, both with his grappling and his striking. Offensively, he leaves a little bit to be desired. And that's kind of my problem with him. Luke Sanders, he did get the rear naked choke in that one. Luke Sanders has never really impressed me, though. Johnny Munoz Jr., he lost that fight, but he got kicked in the balls 4 times in the fight. So Johnny Munoz Jr. lost 2 points, ended up losing a decision in that one. But the grappling of Maness was good. The jiu-jitsu defense was really good, and always keeping it real, Miz. That is definitely how I feel. And then, and Nate Maness, he's put it together. He only lost to Taylor Lapoulize by sidekick at TKO. That was a pretty bad fight for him, honestly. Knocked out Jesse Arnett, very good Canadian regional product. I've decided I'm done doubting on Nate Maness in these kind of, until he gets into the top 15 area. He's going to find a way to beat Tony Gravley here. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be a submission or if it's going to be a decision, but I'm going to take Nate Maness by submission round 2. He's just going to find a way to scramble, craft it out. A lot of decision losses for Tony Gravley in his career. Or submission losses, and I think another one comes here.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your final pick so I can write it down? Because I just want everything logged.
Yeah, of course. Nate Maness by submission, and then we'll go over Nate Maness by second round submission, and we'll go over to Bryan for his pick. I'll be right back.
Bryan, let's hear it, dude. Don't let me down.
This one. I don't even really have a choice. Like, I know Tony. Like, we fought on the same cards on the regional scene.
You're so much better.
He beat he actually Taylor Starling's coach, like a guy I consider a mentor, Keith Richardson. He beat Keith in Charlotte, North Carolina. Like, I watched that live. It was heartbreaking at the time.
In your hometown, are you serious?
Yeah. It was pretty heartbreaking. Like, but
oh no.
Yeah, no. Tony's a dog. And Nate's a dog too. I think
train with Taylor. Didn't you just do a session with Taylor Starling?
I usually see Taylor every Sunday. Like,
hell yeah, dude.
I love Taylor. She's a fucking crazy chick.
She loves you too, awesome. Dude. That's awesome.
She's the best. But I think this is my fight of the night personally. I think this one's gonna be crazy. I think they're both gonna like really send it. But I got Tony by decision.
Interesting.
Decision.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see him getting a knockout. I could see someone getting a submission, but I think these two guys are gonna really just like send it. And I don't think either one of these guys are gonna like let the other guy finish them. I think they're gonna be really durable the whole time, and I think it's gonna be a super fun fight. Yeah. What do you think, Bunny?
Well, that makes me question it because I had Nate by submission, but after watching all,
wait, you agree with me?
No, this is where the bias comes into play.
Here's what I will say: if Tony loses, he does lose by submission. Like, I've seen a couple of fights where he's won, but he was still caught in a submission. Like, he won one fight. He got caught in a deep armbar. It was in a CES fight, and he like slammed the dude on the head to knock him out. And when he beat Keith caught him in like 3 different arm bars, and he said he heard his arm pop on one of them. Tony just like got out of it. So I think if it's any submission that's not a choke, he'll just like he'll let his stuff go in order to get out. But if Nate can get him in some kind of choke, he'll definitely he can definitely put him to sleep. That is a fact.
I like that you said this is fight of the night potential. That shit makes me excited. I do have Nate by submission, but after everything you just said, not many things are able to make me sway my decision, as you saw in the previous fight. But this did make me think again, because Tony does have. He's like he really is mayhem, like in ground and pound. He's a pretty big savage. He's got an impressive record. I don't know. Nate has fought as high as, I think, 155, did we say? He's fought in 3 different weight divisions, right? That's pretty fucking wild, dude. Now he's all the way back.
He's jumped around. And he's 13-1. Like, he's one of those guys that just, like kind of like Aaron says, he just, like, wins fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a whole lot of, like, fanciness about it. Like, man just goes out there and wins fights, you know?
But that's where I'm conflicted, because I know 13-1 is not undefeated, but 13-1 is as close to as undefeated as you can get. And I'm not a big fan of those undefeated records, because that's just not what MMA is. I'm going to stick with Nate by submission, but I love the idea of Tony winning. So if Tony does win, I'll be happy with that. But my official pick is Nate by submission, only because it's on the clipboard and I can't go against the clipboard, because that just...
I'll be happy either way, because Nate Mantis is another HR MMA product, so, you know, shout out to
Wait, really? Seriously?
Yeah, he's another HR.
Yeah. So also fun, TKO, good Canadian organization. Definitely a good fight here.
I don't know.
Very close with regards to the odds, I believe, but let me double check. Honestly, I think it's pretty heavy for Tony here. Minus 210 is way too heavy here. Plus 175 on Nate Mantis.
Plus 175 on Mantis?
Yep. Nearly a 2-1 underdog. I think that's a little heavy there. Again, Nate Mantis just wins in a way that's not very impressive. But it is impressive in that it's not impressive, if that makes sense.
Facts.
Like, it's...
wants to agree. Yeah. Dude, 26-6 is hard to go against, though. Like, that's a lot of experience, man.
Yeah, 21-6 is, is a lot of experience, but he's lost 5 ways by method that Nate is very, very capable of. Either way, definitely a good fight.
Yeah, this will be a good one, honestly.
Yeah, I think this is a really good fight. Also here,
Ryan said fight of the night, which I love. It's not my fight of the night, but I love that it is. That's awesome.
Yep.
So
this fight is
all on the clipboard.
It's all on the clipboard. This next fight here is at 155. I think it's another kind of under the radar fight here. Christos Giagos taking on Arman Tsarukyan here. I think this is going to be a really, really good matchup. A lot better than people are giving it credit for, especially based on what the odds have shown us. Arman Tsarukyan, 16-2 out of Armenia for the nearly 25-year-old. Missed weight in his last fight, 5'7", 72.5-inch reach for the Tiger Muay Thai representative, Arman Tsarukyan. Like I said, missed weight at 157 in his last fight. So that's the first thing is weight cuts, how those are going to go. Did get a decision over Matt Fravola, a decision over Davi Ramos, and a decision over Olivier Aubin-Mercier in his last 3. He's gone to a decision in all 4 of his bouts in the UFC. He took a fight with Islam Makhachev on nearly no notice. I think it was 48 hours notice. He was 22 years old at the time, and he made a really good showing of himself. Tsarukyan is really rock solid. He's good everywhere. Good fundamental wrestling, good head kicks, good grappling. He kind of does it all. Faced a decent level of competition prior to the UFC, but in the UFC so far, passed all 3 of his tests. However, all 3 of his tests were kind of the same variety. They're all just kind of big grapplers with very limited stand-up. Matt Fravola, I've not been impressed with him in any of his fights, frankly. I think he's won a few fights he shouldn't have won, and stuck around way too long. Davi Ramos is very one-dimensional, slow grappler, and it was impressive that he was able to prevent the takedowns for the most part, but there's just not a lot you have to pass in that. And Obin Mercier, he's okay. That's about all I got to say about him.
Okay.
I think that Christos Giagos is by far the toughest test he's had since his debut. Obviously, Makhachev, the toughest test he had. But I think Christos Giagos is a lot better than people give him credit for. 19-8. I like to call Christos Giagos like diet Dustin Poirier. He looks a lot like him in a lot of ways, but he's not. It's Dustin Poirier at home, though. For the 19-8 opponent here, a 31 years old, fighting out Black House MMA, coming off a win against Sean Soriano. However, the first round, went back and watched that fight with Sean Soriano. Sean Soriano outlanded Christos Giagos in the first round, 32-10. That's not going to get it done in a lot of fights. Christos did come back in the second round, snatch up a Darce choke and sneak that in. We always love to see that, of course. Before that, Carlton Minus, one of the worst fighters ever to fight in the UFC in the last at least 10 years. Absolutely terrible fighter there. Wasn't able to finish him. Did dominate a decision. Lost the decision to Drakkar Close, very close. Won decisions against Hirota and Hadzovic. The fight that was most impressive for me was back in 2018, September, against Charles Oliveira. He actually won the first round against Charles Oliveira, was doing really well in the second round as well before getting finished by Charles Oliveira. But I do think since that fight, Giagos has looked a lot better. I think this is going to be a close fight. I'm not betting it, especially after seeing the odds. I'll take Sarukian by decision, however. But I'm rooting for Giagos quite a bit. And thanks, Payne Fight Fix. I'm glad that you like it. We all do a good job
Brian
here.
does his homework. He knows what he's talking about. He's worth following, so drop him a follow.
We're all worth following. This channel is not just me; it's the people who I surround myself with as well. But appreciate it. I think that Sarukian should win this fight, but Giagos has a ton of experience against super high level competition. Sarukian's very young, 24 years old. There could be weight cut issues here. Giagos doesn't have a problem coming back, being down a round or two. Also, and I do think that Giagos at 31 really entering that tip top of the prime. After winning a round against Charles Oliveira, I did see a step up in the confidence of Christos Giagos that I think will still be there. So I'm not betting this one. I think it goes over 2.5 rounds, I would assume. I don't see either one of these guys getting a finish. I'll take Sarukian by decision. I wish I had the balls, though, to take Christos. I just don't. But I'm not betting. There's no way I'm betting Christos.
I gotta go. I could jump in. Yeah, man. No, I think I think you're right not to have the balls. I think you don't have the balls for this decision because you know it's the right decision. I mean, I think this man Armin is just like, I think it's, you know what I mean? It's just the right decision. I was like, I mean, like this is like one of those like test fights. Let's see if like Armin's what we think he is. You know what I'm saying? And if he is what everyone says he is, then he should win this fight. I got Armin by decision. Oh no, Bunny.
Oh no.
Oh no, Bunny. Oh no.
Oh yeah, Bunny.
Oh no, Bunny. Oh no.
Yeah, Bunny.
Is it you going with the Greek Greek guy?
Yeah. Listen, I know you guys are professionals, but I've also been watching MMA. I've been obsessed with MMA for 13 years. I'm not dumb. How can I go off sometimes? I feel like we're just not on the same page. I'm going with Christos. I'm going by submission.
But I mean, that's feasible.
You are wild. You are untamed. Brian, stop. She is crazy. She is going nuts. She's not like
fucking dick, Aaron. This is what I'm picking, and I'm rolling with it.
Absolutely, I will. But wow,
There it is.
I'm not gonna lie like Bryan here and pretend
I
this is.
did my tape study the same as you did. I saw the same fights that you did. It's just a different perspective.
No, it's beautiful.
Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, and I might be wrong on this one. But
Yeah,
I did not see anything spectacular with Armin, and whereas Christos was like, he seemed good at reading his opponents.
You didn't think it was spectacular for Armin to hang in there with Mr. Makhachev on 2 days' notice?
I don't even know what to say to you anymore. Are you sure you want me to keep doing these breakdowns with you? You
literally said you didn't see anything impressive, so I was just firing back with it.
I said nothing. No, I didn't say impressive. I said nothing spectacular. There's a bit of a difference.
I can't rewind the tape right now. Okay.
Why are you being so nasty on this tape? I think he's very versatile. I think he's got some like old school. I think Christos has like that old school, like street style fighting to him. He's got a tiny bit. I don't give a shit. That's why we don't bet on text. This is what I'm going with. I'm a loose cannon. So if you want to make money, probably going with Aaron's bet. But I'm just here for a good time. I'm going with Christos. I like what I saw out of him. He's a little bit more versatile. He seemed to be good both stand up and with ground and pound. And I thought that plays a lot into skill. I don't know.
Yeah.
Armin is powerful. I'm not saying anything disrespectful to Armin, but this is I went with my gut, and this is what I'm going with. And it may be ridiculous, but you guys know me. I don't really give a shit. So I'll own it if I'm wrong. But
yeah. So you got Christos by what?
By submission.
I think that was by submission there. Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that might be
by submission. It's on the board, and that's what I'm rolling with.
I do think that sometimes with guys like Sarukian, when they just are able to be so successful, it is kind of a little bit boring and unremarkable, and that is sometimes kind of a credit to how good someone is. Wow. I just think that Giagos, the advantage I give to Giagos mainly in this is that he can win an ugly fight more than Armin can. So this needs to be a very ugly 15 minutes. And then I do think that, Giagos can get there.
Who knows?
But
my heart. This is my heart pick. I'm going with it. I'm going to stand by it.
I love it.
I'll go with the fighter that nobody else wants to go with, and they'll always know that I stood in their corner.
I was about to say, because everyone always needs someone to pick them. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what Bunny's here for.
I don't care.
Yeah, everyone,
for you, brother.
That's everyone needs someone to pick them because someone's going.
I'm gonna slap that smile right off your face, Brian.
I mean,
my God, this isn't a good card. Go ahead. Let's just move on, fellas. I'm feeling real bad.
Okay, so we've got 2 for Sarukian, 1. We got 2 for Sarukian, 1 for Armin. I believe we only have 1 unanimous fight so far.
Oh my God, what a messy card it's been.
I love this. I think
who rooted for you when no one else did, fellas? You remember who did that? Bunny did that.
Yeah, but Giagos is a little bit of an underdog. I do want Bunny to hear the prices here. I don't think you're going to be too happy with the prices.
If you say anything beyond minus 500, I'm going to lose it.
Christos Giagos is a plus 540.
That is so dumb to me.
Armin Sarukian is a minus 850.
This is why I don't fucking bet on stupid shit like this. You hear them going crazy for a reason. They're going crazy for a reason. They're going crazy for my dog.
800. That's
so dumb.
That is some serious odds. Yeah, I don't know.
How does that even matter? All right, here's what I want to know. Because I don't bet. This is all from heart. This is pure passion. we've got the better in Aaron the dog. He's got the statistic down to us, and then we have the fucking tough champion, the middleweight champion, who has been in there, and then you have me, just a fan. So we've got like 3 very versatile, very diverse perspectives on fights. It's cool, it's great, but like, how do you place how does that happen? Is what I want to know. How do you just throw in a minus fucking 5?
I think these odds are ridiculous.
That's
I really do.
ridiculous.
And what this means, just to explain the odds a little bit further to you, like to kind of understand how ridiculous this is. Minus 850 odds. I love when you sit like the cool bit at like lunch. It's like, what's up? What's up?
I don't know what else.
Are you gonna sell me a cigarette after recess?
Sure.
But
I just need to know. I don't understand. Minus 540. That doesn't make. You said there was a minus 800 in Bellator. That to me.
No. Plus 540 was what Christos Giagos is. It's a minus 850 here.
Oh my God.
That means 90% of the time they believe Arman Sarukian beats Christos Giagos. I don't believe that. I think it's closer to like 70% of the time at best.
Well, plus, I mean, he's probably got the whole country. He's probably got the whole country of Armenia betting on him too. You know what I'm saying? Like those people ride hard with their fights.
Yeah, and they also like Sarukian just kind of got labeled as an uber prospect after that first kind of go around with Islam. So I think those are the reasons why there. But this, I think, is a better fight than the odds are saying. I really do believe that.
That is bananas to me. That, like, how does that? I just don't get how that's. We don't need to. Well, Aaron, you and I can talk about that privately because that pisses me off. Minus 540 just pisses me off.
Minus 850.
Excuse me for the 300 deficit. Minus 850 pisses me off. That is insane.
Yep, I agree.
What is that matchup? We can move on.
Yeah, I think this is what happens with the odds often is that they get kind of way off there, and this is an example of it. Next fight is at 125. I'm confused why this is so high up on the card, but it's here. Maybe because Ariana Lipski's pretty marketable. I'll put it that way, I guess, and not because of her fighting so far. But Dana White likes his marketable athletes. I'll say that much. Ariane Lipski here taking on Mandy Baum. Mandy the monster. Chico's just going to keep barking. Chico, please.
He's going for the dog, just like Bunny. And Chico going for the dogs, dude.
That's right.
Chico's opinion is important.
That's right.
But Ariana Lipski, 13-7 for the Queen of Violence out of Brazil here on a 2-fight losing streak, 5'6", 67-inch reach fighting on King's MMA. Very good camp for sure. Came into UFC with a lot of hype, yet to deliver on that hype. Lost to Antonina Shevchenko by ground and pound. That's a real bad look there. Real bad look. That means you got taken down by Antonina. That means you got pounded out by Antonina. She is the other Shevchenko sister for a reason. And then she got ground and pounded by Montana De La Rosa. Montana De La Rosa has not finished a lot of her fights either. Lipski. I mean, she came into the UFC with tons of hype. Lost her first 2 to Joanne Calderwood and Molly McCann before beating 2 very unknown Brazilians to go to 2-2. Lost her last 2 out. Straight up, I'm just not impressed by what I've seen out of Ariane Lipski here. Mandy, the monster bomb. I've really enjoyed what I've gotten to see out of her. She is only 7-0, however, for the German fighter. 5'6", 70-inch reach, so she'll have the reach advantage here. Very big for the division, has long arms, good reach, uses it well, has a good ground game as well. Just overall, very well-rounded fighter. She's faced a decent level of competition here. Jade Mason Wong, not a bad fighter at all. But yeah, I like the newcomer Mandy Baum here. I think that she's going to be able to use her reach. Stand-up's really, really strong as well. And I just don't see Ariane Lipski having a lot for her in this fight. Frankly, not too impressed by Ariane here. Who do you got, Scully? I mean, Bunny.
Scully?
It was an X-Files show.
Justin wants to keep mentioning me, so I'll make sure to oblige in the fucking chat.
Yeah, your buddy Justin. He talked about
Fucking
skeletons.
buddy Justin. Buddy Justin.
Justin and Bunny.
I think I'm more than proven I don't just roll with picks for the sake of it because I've been picking some.
I mean, that's an absolute fact. I agree with that.
Oh
Wait, what was the skeleton for? Was that a threat? Was it like?
No, he said what did he say? Bunny's got skeletons on him.
Yeah, see, I wasn't following the chat either, and then
I appreciate the people that are here.
I do too. I think
it's cool that people are chatting. Also, I love when people are like, "Is that Bryan Battle?" I'm like, dude, I love when people say that. Is that Bryan? Yeah, it's Bryan.
Yeah, it is.
Hours of his time to be here. Wait, Aaron, who did you pick for this one? You picked
I took bomb by decision.
Damn it.
Pico, shut up, dude.
Aaron, you're trying to get snapped?
Oh, he's like literally
shut up one more time. He's a dog.
I know.
Dogs are supposed to bark.
You're right.
I have Lipski. I feel every time, especially on this card, I feel so horrible every time I pick it.
That is Bryan, a quote right there. That is
Bryan,
a quote right there.
Bryan, you go first. Why are you picking me? Bryan, you go first. Let me hear what you're saying.
Yeah, like maybe I like have an irrational like excitement for this fight. Like I just feel like this fight is going to be way more exciting than it should be.
Sweet.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like from what I've seen from Molly on the regional scene, she just like Aaron said, she's long. You know, she's kind of like she's just kind of like there. She's kind of like there for it. You know what I'm saying? She's a long rangey fighter, but you know, she'll get in there. You know, she has good groundwork. You know, it'll be interesting to see how she's already fought on Bellator. I mean, Bellator is not the same stage as UFC, so it'll be interesting to see how she does with the UFC jitters. And you know,
oh my God, Justin, Bryan would tap you faster than I could say fucking 1, 2, 3, go. Just so
Yo, Justin, baby, I'm at the gym, baby.
Yeah,
Come see me.
Yeah, man, this guy's got his full. Justin has his full suit of armor on for this keyboard warrioring.
But yo, what do I get if I tap you though? What do I get if I tap?
Bryan, bet high.
That's what I want to know, Justin.
Bet high because you're gonna get it, Bryan. Bet high.
Like I need something in equal value to the tough.
You get his neck,
fair, right?
You get his neck if you win. You just get his
I'm about to take Justin's neck.
But I already got a lot of necks.
Oh my God.
I already got a bunch
Hey,
of. That's my quote of the day.
Before he taps out Bryan, you goddamn right, Payne. Oh, Payne's coming in with the facts. Good shit. You're coming in with the facts. We appreciate it. Bryan, wait, who did you pick to win this? I gotta know because I'm not making my. I've had enough of the scrutiny, so I.
Oh my God!
Like,
you know what's the worst part about the scrutiny is she's including me in that like people who's like against her. That's so ridiculous. Literally, Bryan has no idea what's going on because I've been nothing but pleasant to Bunny. But in Bunny's head,
wait. Oh no, wait. Payne, I thought Payne had Lipski. Oh no, this is terrible. Go ahead, Bryan. Just make it pick so I can. Oh my God.
If it makes you feel better, like part of me was tempted to just send it and pick Lipski. Like I was really close.
That does make her feel a little better. It makes her feel a little better.
I was looking at this stuff and I was like, yo, I kind of want to pick Lipski. But then on the other hand, like I kind of fuck with Mandy, dude. I kind of fuck with her, dude. I like what she's doing. I like how she fights, man. Like it's kind of cool. You
This
know
is
what I mean? It's a vibe.
pretty funny from Fuji here. We got Conor McGregor at home. Connor at home equals Justin.
I don't care.
Yo.
Bunny's in my DMs.
Fuji,
Bunny's in
you're on my
my
good side, Fuji. Good for you, Fuji.
DMs. Oh man.
Brian,
Oh man.
tell me a
And
pick, man.
Brian picks Mandy.
Tell me a pick, man.
I'm picking Mandy. And I'm picking her by second round finish, man. I think it's gonna be a fun fight though. I think these two are gonna beat each other up and it'll be way more fun than it should be.
Bunny, what would your pick be for this?
Once again, I'm going to have to go against the grain here and make myself look like a complete idiot. I'm going with Lipski. I don't know how it's going to end, but I'm going with Lipski. I don't care what you guys say. I have it written out on the clipboard. Both going with Bohm, which is great. I have Lipski, and I can't change it because it's on the clipboard.
And you know what? I respect that because
Thanks,
you
Ryan.
wrote
Really
it on the clip.
I also respect that, Bunny. I also do. Respect here. Hey there. Also supporting.
I have to say that because this is like my sixth absurd pick of the evening.
Here's one of the things I like most about Bunny is
what
that
are all my notes for? What are all my things? I have.
Here's the thing: is that the odds here? Lipski is the favorite at -120. You have picked the favorite in this fight. Even money underdog for Manny Baum, the newcomer here. I like that the one she's most hesitant on is the favorite. When it's like a +550, she's like, no problem. She'll say it right away. When it's JP fucking buys, she's like, yeah, JP buys. But then she has a favorite, and she's like, I'm so embarrassed. I picked the favorite. You picked.
I just want you to know if Buys does get that fucking knockout, I'm gonna look like a fucking genius.
I'm buying a JP Buys jersey.
If JP Buys doesn't,
you can't take that back. It's on. It is. I have it recorded. Brian's got it recorded. You have it recorded.
Okay, if that happens after I am done hiding my head in shame, I do not know what I'm gonna do.
What? So if I'm wrong, does that mean I'm an idiot? Like, is that what you're saying?
Nope, didn't say that. That was your words, not mine. That was your words, not mine.
I'm having an internal argument with myself on why I picked Buys to win.
Like you're like blaming me, like I made you pick Buys. I didn't make you pick Buys.
I have 50 pages of notes, and they all made sense to me until I start talking to you two. And then I'm like, wait, what are all these for?
You know, there's a lot of things that make sense to people until they start talking to me. You know, I'm homeschool, man. You can't. I'm not. You know, public opinion doesn't like count when it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
You got at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I have everybody on here because I want their opinions. I don't want a consensus opinion that you don't really believe in. That's not what you feel. I want your opinions and your choices. So that's what.
You know what? You know what? I can say I could see us all being a great group of homeschooled friends in high school. I could see us all just being a bunch of weirdos in high school hanging out.
I certainly was a weirdo in high school. Believe it or not, I was very weird in high school. I know that's probably shocking to everybody here. But I have good news for everybody. We're on to the co-main event of the evening here. 2 hours, 20 minutes in.
I feel like the 10 fight. Remember, was it the last UFC card? The 10 fight one that went like what, almost 3 hours? We're doing
That's what I'm saying. I think we're doing pretty good. 15 fights. We've had arguments in the middle of this. We've had to deal with the chat at points. But we're all doing. I know. I can literally feel the heat. I'm gonna move on here to the next fight on the card.
Oh
my god! I'm very sweaty. My palms are always. Thanks, Payne. Things are going smooth. All right, my palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. Next fight here at 205. That was funny. Come on. Jan, you want to laugh. You just chose not to. Jan Cutelaba taking on Devin Clark in the co-main event of the evening at 205. This is a very interesting fight here. Devin Brown Bear Clark, 12-5, 31 and a half years old, 6 foot, 75-inch reach, fighting out of Jackson Wink, Albuquerque, New Mexico, coming off of a loss to Anthony Smith, fighting in the main event. Triangle choke about 2 minutes into that fight. Anthony Smith definitely has just, looked really good at 205 at certain points, and that this was kind of the beginning of his second renaissance, I guess you could say. That triangle choke, really impressive by Devin. He did get him down, but wasn't able to control the grappling. Menafield and Daquan Townsend got decisions against Alonzo Menafield. Kind of survived the first round, the first blitz from Menafield, and then took it from there, gave Menafield his first loss. I see this pretty much as a similar type of fight here. Jan Cutelaba has one round of gas. He's going to go out there, throw everything he has at Devin Clark. Or if he can finish Devin Clark in the first round, he's going to win. If not, he's going to lose the decision. I got Devin Clark by decision here. I think that Jan Cutelaba is not very good. He's been fighting Magomed Ankalaev for the last 2 years. He's gotten knocked out by him twice in the last 2 years. He almost did knock out Glover Teixeira, though, in that first round. If he lands those same kind of shots on Devin Clark, he's going to put away Devin Clark. Devin Clark has been put away for his strikes. Jan Cutelaba, first round. Devin Clark after that. I got Devin Clark after that. Devin Clark decision for me.
Heard.
I think that, Jan Cutelaba just kind of sucks, honestly. I don't think he's very good. I think he's pretty overrated. He got very popular for wearing Hulk makeup for his weigh-ins and for talking a lot of shit, and not for his actual fighting. So
I hate that. I hate this shit talking.
He doesn't even talk shit. He just yells at people. He doesn't even.
Right, he is like. I mean, Cutelaba has 4 minutes of gas. At the 5th minute, he's not winning the fight.
Wait, Aaron, what did you say? What would you say was? Did you say by finish?
Dwight Clark by decision.
Clark by decision, you said.
Yeah, nice and boring. Dwight Clark wrestling decision.
Decision's not necessarily boring, but I feel you.
Yeah, but Dwight Clark decisions are pretty boring.
Okay, touche.
Very
decisions. Period.
I think he'd describe himself as boring, but he also has.
Which makes you wonder how this is a lightweight co-main. You're like
co-main, yeah. It's a co-main because they're
Anthony Smith
because they love
Spann, no less.
They love Cutelaba, man.
For whatever,
and they're hoping he starches them. That's what they're betting on.
I honestly can't believe that Anthony Smith and Spann is actually it's not a pay-per-view, which is surprising to me because Anthony Smith is he's got a draw himself. Lionheart, he's got a big draw. He's got a lot of. Oh, okay, Brian. Okay, I'll just shut the fuck up.
I'm thinking about it. That's all.
He's not like the most exciting, but he's.
No one wants you to shut the fuck up, buddy. Nobody wants you to shut the fuck up.
Guys, I am capable of laughing and making fun of myself. You don't need to feel.
No. I know what we're giving it back to you. No one here is serious.
I just think it's surprising that we fight. That's all. But
it can't be a main event.
What is your analysis? Right? Go ahead.
Like it has to be at least like a co-main event, third fight on the card on a pay-per-view, right? But no, I mean, dude, Cutelaba, I don't know, man. Like they really, really like this guy, and
why?
Yeah. I don't know. I think if you looked up Goon in the dictionary, his picture would pop up. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy is like the king of the meatheads. You know what I mean? So, I'm just going with. Nothing shocking here. Nothing. I'm just no reinventions of the wheel. Clark by decision. A lot of cage grappling.
That wasn't you, Brian. That was the pain.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's okay.
That's aggressive.
No, that's okay. They know me now. Go ahead.
Clark by decision.
All right. I think we're all on
Yeah.
Clark by decision on this one, which makes me feel really comforted with everything that has just happened on
This
this
is like our
card.
second unanimous fight of the night. In
All by
14
decision too, which is nice.
Which
14
basically guarantees that it's going to go the other way, right?
Yeah,
Which
it basically means he's getting
that Kool-Aid
starched
is
inside of
gonna-
a round.
Yeah.
Like, that is exactly what it means. Plus 125 on Devin Clark, minus 145 on Jan Kutalaba.
Really?
Yeah, I think it should. I think it should be about pick 'em. So I love getting
Okay.
Dwight. I love getting Clark at plus money. Clark by decision is probably plus 200 or so. So that would be my play
Okay.
on this one. I think it's a good fight. I don't think it should be a co-main event by any stretch of the imagination. Though.
I don't think so. I think there's so many other fights on this card that could have co-mained ahead of this fight, which is why I was like, I felt like I was working in reverse when I was studying these fights. Honestly, I really did feel like I was working in reverse. I'm like, so many of these fights, if you flip the card upside down, it should have been in that manner. But I know that Lionheart does have a big following. You cannot, I don't care what you say about his fighting. You can't argue. He says, I fight bananas within 2 minutes. Are you serious?
I mean, that could definitely happen. Like that's Jan
Alright,
Kutalava's dream scenario.
All right,
But
either
I
way.
don't
but
think-
it probably won't, though.
Yeah, it's hard to.
I
it's
mean-
definitely hard to see that. I think that Dwight Clark's been in there with, or Devin Clark, sorry, has been in there with some very good level of competition too. He's faced a lot of good strikers, and yeah, I think that if Jan wins, but should be an interesting one. We have made it to the main event of the evening here. It is at light heavyweight. It is between Anthony Lionheart Smith and Ryan Superman Spann. I really do like this main event. I think it's a very, very interesting main event. It's very important for the division. One of these guys is definitely taking that step up into fighting some legit contenders. 33-year-old Anthony Smith taking on 30-year-old Ryan Spann out of Fortis MMA. Ryan Spann 6'5" with an 81.5-inch reach. 6.5-inch reach advantage for Ryan Spann. I think that could be really big in this fight. Spann's got to be able to use it. First of all, I'll get to my theory first.
Here's the theory.
Yeah, my theory is I do not believe that when fighters start commentating that and start kind of doing the host things that they become better. I think they get much, much worse as fighters as they start to go on. I feel like Anthony Smith has kind of crossed over onto that media side much more at this point. He's saying a lot of really weird things going into this week that are playing a little bit into me thinking he is a little bit overconfident with regards to this one. He's just, I mean, he's really Anthony Smith is saying as if like there's nothing Ryan Spann's going to offer here that Anthony Smith has never seen. Another thing, and I've seen this a lot, is Daniel Castro says right here he could see Spann winning in round one. He hits hard and hurt him and not stop possible. I think that Spann has more than just first round finishing ability. He's got multiple finishes in the second and third rounds of his fights. He has in his loss to Johnny Walker, he had Johnny Walker dead to rights in that fight. I think that's a pretty impressive guy to have basically finished. I think that Spann just hits a lot harder than people realize, and Anthony Smith takes a lot of punishment in his fights. Anthony Smith has lost a lot of these fights as well. I know that it's been a while since the Glover Teixeira fight, but that Glover Teixeira fight was a game changer for Anthony Smith.
What year was that, though?
That was 2018, I think.
2019, 2018? So it was even earlier than that?
Let me check. It might have been 2019, but either way, let me look at Spann first, and then I'll get over to Smith. Spann had a guillotine choke of Devin Clark in their fight, knocked out Antonio Ruggiero Nogueira in Brazil, which was a very impressive finish. Finished Emiliano Sordi, the 2-time PFL light heavyweight champion, in 26 seconds on the Contender Series. Yeah, he's got a lot of knockouts. Knock out former LFA light heavyweight champion Myron Dennis. Got a split decision over Alvey, and that's kind of one of those fights that started to, I think, affect people's confidence in him.
Sam Alvey.
Smiley.
Yeah, Sam Alvey.
I know. That was more of a rhetorical there.
Yeah, but still, and that's what a lot of people had a problem with, was Spann was expected to go in there and really put a beating on Alvey. It ended up being a split decision win. Definitely a little bit troubling. The loss to Walker, he had Walker dead to rights and decided to wrestle and then get elbowed until he went out. I think that was just kind of a mental lapse there, which I hope he's kind of improved from. Misha Serkinov came out there and absolutely fantastic against him. The stand-up continues to really increase in confidence. He also always has that wrestling and good submission game to fall back on. Anthony Smith has to keep it moving, use those leg kicks, be much more defensive than he usually is. I think if he takes the shots he usually does, I think Spann can put him down in any of the first 3 rounds. I really do. And I am curious to see into the championship rounds how Spann looks, because I do think that's where Lionheart has an advantage. But I think Spann could finish within the first 3 rounds. I really do. I'm going to go with Ryan Spann in this one. I've been really back and forth on this fight all week. I started on Ryan Spann, then I kind of came over to Smith. I think Smith is doing a lot outside of the octagon. He has a really seems to be focused on the commentary aspect of things now. He really wants to be more involved with that. Just the way he's talking about this fight, it sounds like an analyst who's very confident in himself. He's like, I've been around a lot of big, scary black guys before. If he thinks that's going to work.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, and just like very weird kind of things.
Like, how am I missing this shit? Where did?
Yeah. I just think, like,
so annoying.
While it's a lot of hype talk, and it might not mean much. We saw with Tyron Woodley when he got into the analyst desk. When he
fight of the night, honey. I promise you. Sorry, but Fuji, this is not going to be fight of the night.
It could be. It really could be.
I can tell you right now. This one thing I know. This is not going to be fight of the night. The main card, the main event, Spann versus Smith. This is not going to be fight of the night. From everything that we went through so far, this is far from fight of the night. And I'm really excited for this fight, but it's not fight of the night. I guarantee it. It's
a really close matchup. We'll see.
I can't stand when you laugh at me, Aaron. I just can't stand it. It's not.
I literally did not laugh at you.
Yeah, I see what you're doing over there.
All I said.
Go ahead, give your predictions. I didn't know he said that. I didn't know Anthony Smith said that. That bothers me.
Yeah,
well, I gotta be honest with you guys, right?
Yeah.
And I had where I was like Ryan Spann, and then I actually kind of flipped a little bit after Anthony said that, because that is like, for me, I've seen that, like, people. I know it's like, it's a weird thing to say, but it is something where people are afraid. Like, I know it sounds weird. But there's like sometimes where it's like the only rationale behind like people making a pick is because like they're more afraid of how someone looks. And there's truth to what he said. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get weird about it, but but no, I think Ryan Spann. I mean, Anthony Smith has problems with people who are bigger than him. And Ryan Spann is just like, I mean, just physically speaking, he's just kind of like more physically imposing. Alex might have a little bit of a speed advantage, but I think he likes to use that jab. But I think Ryan Spann kind of neutralizes that with his size advantage. So I could see this fight being exciting in the way where it kind of gets sloppy towards
Not
the
fight of
end.
the night, Brian. No matter what, it is not fight of the night. There's
That's-
no
No,
way.
it's not fight of the night. It's gonna be. I could see Anthony Smith like getting one of those like messy rear naked chokes in like the third round where like both guys are gassed and they're just kind of rolling around. But no, my pick is Ryan Spann. I think he's gonna decision. Well, it's five rounds. That's a lot of rounds. But yeah, I'm going Ryan Spann by decision. That's a lot of rounds. It's 25 minutes of fighting. That's a long time not to get knocked out at light heavyweight. But yeah, I'm going to go with Ryan Spann by decision.
Wow. Okay.
I like it. I had Anthony Smith by decision until Aaron said that shit. That bothers me. I don't like that. Can you quote exactly what he said?
Sure.
I've always been a fan of Lionheart. He seems like such a, again, I pick mostly with heart, like, and honestly, personality. I'm going to go with who I think is better in the spotlight. And I know that's ridiculous, but Anthony Smith always seemed like a really genuine dude, but I need to hear the exact quote.
Can I get in? I'll look up the quote real quick, but chat, I need an unofficial poll here. Have I been mean to Bunny tonight? Just type 1 in the chat if I have, 2 in the chat if I have not. I'm gonna look up the quote now, but please, I need the
in the middle of the.
No, this is the end of the breakdown. This isn't the middle of the breakdown. This is the end of
a weird question to ask in the middle of a breakdown. I want to know the exact quote of Aaron Smith. I gotta hear that because I didn't. Hear
Anthony Smith. Aaron Smith is
Anthony Smith.
So just go ahead and I'll get the quote up for you here. And just tell me how you see this fight going.
No, I want to know I have to hear the quote.
Well, while you're looking it up, I'll piggyback your theory a little bit. I do think when fighters go into commentary, I won't say it's necessarily a death sentence because DC did pretty well with it.
No,
Dominic Cruz did all right with it for a little bit, but I think it's a sign of a potential death sentence because they might be looking for a way out. But I think when fighters start their own gym, that's when I'm like, oh, they're done. They're done because then it's like it's hard to be a coach and a fighter at the same time, like a real coach. But yeah, that's just me piggybacking your theory a little bit.
I didn't love that. But I don't know. I thought I picked Anthony Smith winning. But I didn't really have a lot of notes on this one. This one was a tough one. This is why I don't know. This was a tough one. Light heavyweight is a great division. Anthony Smith he is like experienced. He is experienced. And for his age, he's like more experienced than I thought he would be. Ryan Spann he's got a lot of fights. He's got over, 31 fights or something like that.
Anthony Smith has over 40 fights.
No, I'm saying Spann. I said Spann has over 31 fights. So I don't know. This was a tough one for me to pick. I picked Lionheart based off of who I liked stylistically. But I feel like I had more confidence in my preliminary picks than I did this main event, which is odd. But hearing you guys pick Spann makes me question it always.
So basically, Spann gave the Rorschach quote of like, "You're locked in the cage with me. When the cage door closes, you're locked in here with me." And Anthony Smith basically said, "I've been locked in the cage with a lot of dangerous people before, like laughing about like, what are you going to do to me that I haven't already faced?" Like, I've been in there with.
Like that surprises me. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I've already made some fucking bold ass picks tonight, so let's do it. Let's go with. I'm gonna stick with Anthony. I'm not sure if I can pick how it's done, but I don't have to because I don't
feel that.
No, you don't have to.
I'm gonna go Anthony Smith with the win, but I don't know. I think 36-16 is what he's gonna end up with light heavyweight. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's like at the end of his, not the end of his career necessarily, but I think he's winding down. This is a lot of fighting he's done, dude. How much does he have
It's
left?
gonna be his 52nd fight. He's 33
That's what I mean.
years old.
We're entering Olympic territory right now. Like, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah.
So I'm going Anthony. I like him. I like him a lot. I like the way he talks about other fighters. When he saw Chris, the shit that I swear to God, the merits that I base on who I'm going to pick is ridiculous. When he saw Anthony Weidman's leg break against Uriah Hall and he like broke down, I was like, that's my dude. I don't know. So I'm picking Anthony Smith. Let's just go with it. But I understand why you're picking Spann. That's not like an empty pick.
No,
I wholeheartedly understand that.
Yeah, this is a good one. Anthony Smith is the favorite, minus 170, plus 140 on Ryan Spann here.
What am I even feel?
Yeah, it's a slight favorite for Anthony Smith. And then Elliott. It's
a tough division, and there's a lot of fierce competitors. They're both on the end of not the end of, but.
Hey, Payne, I believe this was your first show, Payne, but thanks for showing up. But we also do Bellator, LFA, Cage Warriors, Fury FC. We do all the above, so definitely check out the channel. I think you'll like what you find here, but thanks for coming out. And then Elliot had a quick question about Volkanovski. Betting question for the crew. Volkanovski's been around a minus 190. It's down to a minus 177. Should I hammer him, or do you think odds will get better? I think my opinion is that anything under minus 200 for Volkanovski is a safe game. I do think he'll get to about a minus 155. I do think the public money will come in on Ortega. And that's just because Volkanovski has not gotten credit for 2 Max Holloway wins, because close fights mean you lose, apparently. So I would say
Volkanovski under he's going to toast Ortega. He is going to toast Ortega.
I think it's Volkanovski.
I'm all about that, Brian. Fuck Ortega. I'm sorry, Ortega. I'm not in Ortega. Fuck Ortega, Volkanovski all the way.
Fuck Ortega.
Yeah.
Fuck Ortega, pretty boy. Fucking heartthrob bullshit. Y'all need to open eyes and start watching fights instead of eyes. I swear to God, y'all are. You know what?
Yeah, no, you don't have. You can preach it. You're preaching to the choir.
Just say it again for the people in the back.
Yep, they can't hear you.
Say it again, Brian, for the people in the back. That's right.
Hey, watch the fights, not the fighter's eyes. Stop looking at.
Exactly right. This is not The Bachelor. This is MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Volkanovski.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. But honestly, going through this card, I am just so much more excited than I was before the breakdown. These fights.
I always feel like the preliminaries, like I feel like an asshole, but I feel like 9 times out of 10, the preliminary card is better than the main card.
It's better.
Except the Bryan Pooh Bear battle, of course. But
of course.
I just feel like the preliminaries are always so much more exciting. And who doesn't love a prospect? Who doesn't love like an up and coming star? You know what I mean?
Here you go, Bonnie.
Justin, you can't go back. You can't backtrack now. Fuck your rose, Justin.
Yeah, also like the rose isn't the way to go about it with Bonnie. Like definitely not. Like
give me a rose full of bacon.
Yeah, like a bacon rose with rose full of bacon. On that.
Justin.
I will also take a rose full of bacon.
Brian will too.
I'll just share my rose with Brian. You know? I feel like I haven't earned my own rose of bacon. Maybe I'll do better moving forward and I'll earn mine. But
this is your channel. Everybody's here for you.
Shut up. No one's here for me tonight. Literally nobody's here for me. They're here for Bunny.
Wait, you have more views on your solo LFA breakdowns than you do with me.
But that's just like that. We'll talk about that off air. But that's more just because of lack of options. Trust me. Okay. Which is how I've gotten all my
ridiculous picks this evening, folks. But if you're betting money, don't listen to the bunny. I'm going with heart every time. If you're going with money, go with Aaron and Brian. Brian has been in the cage, and Aaron just understands. Minus 800. That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't understand.
Minus 850. Minus 850. Minus 850.
I don't get how that's possible. But
It
go
really
with
shouldn't
Aaron
be.
and go with Bryan if you're gonna bet. I'm here for Hart.
She's all heart. But for Aaron the dog, for Bryan Pooh Bear battle, and for Boston Common Zone Bunny, until next Wednesday at 8 p.m. when we are back for another breakdown show. Keep taking care of each other out there. Enjoy the fights on Saturday. Double Bellator. The Bellator is already on the channel. Go check out that. Lewis of Norton MMA joined me on that. And then obviously give Pooh Bear Battle 68 a follow.
Follow Pooh Bear, follow Aaron the dog.
If you're not following at Boston Comments already, I don't know what you're doing, but get on that as well. Because she can't just give out love, she also gets to receive it. So for Aaron the dog, for Bryan Pooh Bear Battle, and Bunny, we're out till next Wednesday, everybody. Have a great night and keep taking care of each other. Peace out. Enjoy the fights.